more time, man. All
Right.
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 I'm the guy that has the whole situation going on, right? And I ended that situation. Last time the mods booted me out, so I had to come back on here. Everybody thought I was
The
trolling.
consensus is you trolling, big dog. You start talking about people sleeping with their grandparents. That don't
No,
sound realistic.
but I'm so for it. I have all the receipts on my phone, dog. I was literally sitting there just like, yo, this is crazy. So pretty much, long story short, I said all of that. I'm not even trolling. If I'm lying, I'm flying, bro. But
All
I
right.
got the receipts on my phone to talk about it,
All
right?
right.
So, boom, had all my peoples here. They came in here. We threw a little F shorty party. The burnt all her stuff and all that, going crazy. I was just sitting having my drink. But anyway, long story short, had shorty in the car. I was taking her home. I literally told her, everything that I knew. Whatever. You can't be playing no games like that, especially if you have a child, whatever, boom. She's over here pretty much just not taking no accountability. Didn't even try to say sorry or nothing. She was just like, yo, like, I'm not even, I never meant to hurt you. I was like, I don't even know what that means. But if you
Right.
can't take the time to even apologize for any of this stuff that you went throughout this entire relationship or whatever, unfortunately, at least for you, I'm gonna have to walk away from that. And then I literally just dropped her off. She started bawling her eyes out, whatever, and I just boom, but left it
Right.
at that. So I pretty much was just like trying to finish out the rest of that story for you and stuff like that. But like, yeah, that situation was crazy. It's just like I don't understand like how you can even play those type of games like that, especially a mother at that, and putting your child's safety at risk for involving yourself with people like that. So I had to walk away.
Right. Right. Okay. So this you ended things.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know, like, I probably felt stupid for staying as long as I did, but I mean, me personally, I feel like my toxic trait is sticking around trying to build a RICO case, man. Like it was just a lot of, it felt bad. Like even her family was hitting me up, like, yo, what's going on? What happened and stuff like that. And I'm not about to expose, like, all the little issues, she put to me. I'm just saying, like, yo, look, she has an unhealthy attachment to chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't sit there and entertain that anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me you're running around telling my friends, she's telling all y'all that I'm the man of her dreams, ABCXYZ. But if you're doing all of that on the back end, then how serious was you in this relationship? It just tells me that you wanted all the external validation you can get in a man, you could come back home to that actually cared. I'm not about to sit there and play the back seat like that. So
Right.
I had to dip.
Right.
Pretty much.
I mean, it sounds like you made the right decision, big dog.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you letting me come in the amount of times I did. And no, this wasn't no trolling situation. I'm a grown ass man. I don't got time to be trolling like that. I leave that for the young bulls. But
There we go.
I appreciate the advice you put on here and posting all that. And I just wanted to give one more shout out before,
I got you. You done with the situation finally. My man. I said,
Yeah.
all right. Well, yeah. I hope that future situations don't pan out this way, man. You find someone that you're really a good fit for. I think you identify like the toxic trait of like trying to stick around. It's like sometimes we want to like see what's going to happen. Like how deep does the rabbit hole go? And it's like it doesn't really serve you though. Ultimately, it's best just go
Yeah.
ahead and remove yourself and to find someone who you on the equal footing with, right?
Right. And I literally, because at first, like I said, when I saw the Snapchat and stuff, I thought she was doing this for money. She used to
Right.
complain to me about financial situations. I'd even hit her off with a little bit of cash here and there. But then again, too, when I realized that this wasn't for money and she was just doing it solely for just the love of the game,
Right.
I was like, oh, hell no. Like,
Right.
nah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And finding out that these men weren't like random customers, these was just dudes like she just knew since like middle school or something like that. I'm like, nah, I gotta get up out of here. So, I mean, the scary part is though, she's still got the spare keys in my crib. Nothing, she hasn't pulled up yet. Nothing's popped up on my little ring or nothing like that. So I'ma just let it be that. And if she does pull up, the locks are changed.
There we go.
So,
There we go.
there
My
we
man.
go.
Well, keep me posted, all right, big dog?
Alright, yo, everybody be good. Everybody that's calling me a troll, they ain't no trolls, but alright, I'm gonna watch the rest of the show.
All right, Chief. Take care.
Alright, peace.
Who else we got? Who else we got? Okay. I gotta block you, Abby, unfortunately. Abby is unable to read the room for some reason. So let's take her off. There we go. Enjoy the block list. All right, who do we got next? Let's bring somebody else up too. Duplicating? Nope. Let's remove her too. There we go. All right. All right, let's see if Shorty connects. Again, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can request up. You can also drop your question in the chat. Just be advised that callers get first priority, all right? So how do you hold it together? You are so cool and calm. A lot of practice. A lot of practice. That part, no waiting for trouble to find me. Right. What's up, CC? CC in the building. CC, are you the only mod here right now? Out of curiosity, many need to realize their worth and not settle for less. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. Is there a reason why you said that? Are you connecting that to the last caller or just like general? Is it just general words to the wise? Let me see. Let me see. Who do we have in the queue? Who do we have in the queue? Nobody really. All right. What's up, Jessica? That's the only mod here. Oh, wow. Who the mods feeling like? You the only one here? We got to start putting people on pips. Got to start putting people on pips, man. No excuses. I don't know how to date this day. I don't even go out. Well, that's your first problem. You got to go out. You got to meet people. That is definitely the first issue. Remember, dating problems are typically social problems. All right, CJ, you are safe from your pip, sir. I see that you are in the chat, so good shit. Let's see if Emily joins. Hello. Hello? All right. Yes, are you there? Thank you, CC. Why do people join with all the noise? And are you in the middle of a twister? What was all of that? I think I gave you last advice 2 months ago with my long distance tryout. What do you mean? Why men stare but not approach? Fear of rejection for the most part. I need arranged marriage. Okay, best of luck with that, love. I confessed my feelings and he said he doesn't know. It may be too soon. You have a question there, Allie? You got to phrase it as a question. Okay. Here we go with the noise in the background. I don't know. People really don't have a lot of sense, man. They come up here with like all the noise in the world, the most noisy place known to man. Emily, you cannot come back up because you came out here with too much noise, so don't request again. Let me see. Sound like she was at a basketball game. How do I encourage them to approach without being too pressed? Are you making eye contact with them? Are you smiling at them? You can also talk to them. You don't have to hit on them, but the feminine position is to inspire and create an opening. If you talk to them, you're creating an opening. Talking to them does not mean hitting on them. You can just like start a conversation or just say something to them. Okay, Emily, now you must be blocked because I just said you can't come back up. Ta-da. You're going. Toodaloo. All right. Legit no home training at all, right? The rules are so simple to dating and people have their own prerogative. What do you mean? Being with him for a year, live with him, his ex, move on, but they haven't divorced as yet. Confused. Okay, well, I don't. Was that a question? What was that? It sounded like a bunch of words. Let's see if Danny connects. Hello. Danny did not mean to come up. Understood. Okay, I get stared at all day, so after a while I get annoyed at the stares. I get that. I get that. But yeah, you might just have to, listen, we're in different times now. I get the complaints, right? I myself encourage men to approach, but here's the thing. Approaching is very scary for a lot of men. It's also very risky, but it's also not necessary. When you have like dating apps and you have social media, approaching is perceived as doing things the hard way. To a lot of men, it's the equivalent of using a horse and buggy instead of hopping in a motor vehicle, right? Why talk to you in person when I can just DM you? That's the thought process. Whoa. What was that about? After 3 years together, she left me for someone else, didn't listen to my intuition. Okay, do you have a question, Biggs? Or are you just sharing your life update? Feels like I have to be so picky when dating to the point that it's no longer an interest. Why do you have to be so picky? What's the cause for that? Got a damn gnat in here. I didn't get it. Dating apps making men lazy. Men are the only ones. Women also aren't going out and meeting people. They're staying in their house. They're going to work, hitting the gym, and going home. So, ordering DoorDash and shit like that instead of leaving. Laziness is not gender specific. Shawty was speaking match make knees, right? Because I'm a woman with 5 kids, 2 babies, father, 1 deceased, 1 that I have 4 kids by. What? Been hitting on me, don't have kids, which is kind of not something I want to go to. So the men hitting on you are the ones who don't have children? You're in the pickle, love. You got 5 kids? Oh, prayers up. That's a rough bag. Hello.
I'm so sorry that was an accident. I was tapping.
All right, I'll let you down, love.
I'm
Don't worry about
sorry.
it. You're good. I thought you had a question. You normally do.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Shorty is doing good in the dating scene. Then no question. I'm glad to see that.
Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Ray, how are you?
I'm good. I came on and talked to you probably, I don't know, a couple of months ago. But anyway, I'm gonna try to make this real quick. Been talking to a guy long distance, with about 2 hours long distance. He's pretty consistent with the texting and calling daily. And I think it's been 3 months. Yeah, it's been 3 months we've been talking. And just want to know, he said he wants to, he would like to continue to talk, but he wants to be a little bit more financially stable, which I definitely get. I just don't want it to, which I understand. Like, we actually see each other probably like once or twice a month in person. So that's cool. And just wanted to know, is that like a legit reason, or,
A legit reason to not want to, like, what is he putting on hold? Like, was he saying that in order to stop the progression of something?
to, I guess, to be in like a true commitment right now.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
to be exclusive at the moment.
And y'all been talking for how long, you said?
It's been about 3 months.
3 months?
It's not been crazy long.
How did you meet him?
Last time I met him on IG.
IG. Okay.
Yeah, he slid in my DMs
Slid in your
while
DMs.
I do workout videos. So
Okay. Nice. So, have you met him in person?
yeah, we see each other at least about once or twice a month
Once, twice a month. Okay.
in
Okay.
person. Mhm.
So was he telling you that in a response to you kind of either directly saying that you wanted a commitment or implying it?
I was informing him on, like, hey, this is going good. I like this. How would you think about being exclusive, things
Right.
like that? And he was like, listen, I see great potential in us. I personally have to get some financial things in order. He said, but I do really like you and don't want this to, don't want you to walk away. So,
Gotcha. What does he do for a living?
well, he's a forklift driver
Hmm.
in a warehouse.
Do you know what his plan is financially?
I do.
What is it?
I do, to a certain extent. He wants to move up in that position to probably just be like management or something like that. He don't have no kids.
Okay. And what state does he live in?
Virginia, and I'm North Carolina.
Okay. If y'all were to get into a relationship, y'all were just to be exclusive. You didn't even ask for a relationship. You asked for exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah. Mm-mm. Nothing would change. All exclusivity means is I'm only seeing you, and you're
Yeah.
only seeing me.
Well, I did say like exclusive and we're official. So I kind of probably like jumbled it.
Oh, you
all
jumbled it
up.
together? Official? Okay, so even point. So, okay,
Yeah.
what if y'all were to be in a relationship, what would fundamentally change about y'all's connection?
That's a great question. I would. That's a great question because we're long distance. I would say probably just the closeness and being able to really just open up more and continue. Well, we'll still continue to get to know each other, but just having more access to one another, and then probably talk about next steps later. Moving into a more committed relationship.
So nothing would fundamentally change. The title would change.
The title
Right.
would definitely change. It was just me. It was just me seeing where his head. I went to ask and see where his thoughts was.
No, I'm
about-
not. I'm
'cause
not saying that to imply that you did something wrong here. I'm just revealing
Yeah.
to you how nothing would really change about how y'all are already dealing with each other,
Mhm.
but he's holding off for some reason.
Mhm.
Like the financial aspect of things does not connect to the commitment,
Mhm.
right? So he's already seeing you. I'm likely paying for dates, likely traveling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have the financial ability to do that, the financial capacity to do that. So if nothing would change about this connection other than just slapping a title on it, then what's the holdup, right? Sounds like someone who does not want commitment in
Okay.
general or
Yeah.
with you specifically, one of the two. Because like I say all the time, like within 3 months, we know if we want to be with the person or not. it don't even take 3 months, to be honest with you. That's me being gracious.
Yeah.
I've known within 3 days.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand that.
Right.
I can understand that.
So you're going to know whether or not men, generally speaking, you may have to extend the timeline when things are long distance, but that's when they're like really long distance, 2 hours away, and really like it's technically long distance, but it's not to an extreme degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I said 3 dates, not 3 days. 3 dates. I would know. I wouldn't try to get into a relationship in 3 dates, but I would know, like, I'm probably going to try to lock that down within 3 dates, right? So if you're dating someone, you are able to see them at least on a once per week cadence. You should expect some progression within 3 months. Progression doesn't mean you get into a relationship within 3 months. Progression just means maybe you go from just dating to like being exclusive. Like, I'm just seeing you, you're just seeing me. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a progression, right? So you haven't seen any kind of progression. You haven't seen any movement. He's trying to keep you in this specific state that you're in right now. It doesn't mean he doesn't like you or anything like that. It just means, like, how old is he?
He's 30.
He's 30? Okay. Do you know how long ago his last relationship was?
I'm sorry, what did you say? I couldn't.
How long ago was his last relationship?
I think so. It was probably about a year.
A year? Okay. Do you know how long that relationship was?
No, I didn't ask him that, how long it was.
Okay. But yeah, this doesn't seem like something that's really going to play out like that. I mean, you can wait and see. It's up to you. But 3 months in, it doesn't seem like what more data do you need? You probably need more data in order to marry the person. You don't need more data to be exclusive with the person.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, just let me know what you want to do and keep me posted.
I want to add this. I want to say this. Don't try to be judging me, okay? Don't judge me.
You're good.
But so we met halfway between Virginia and North Carolina one time, and then I went to his place. He has not been to my place yet, because it's like he has an older vehicle or what have you. So when we did meet, we probably just grabbed something to eat. So it wasn't really like a date, but we spent time together, like talking. So, but yeah. Like
when y'all meet up, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always y'all are going out somewhere on a date where money is spent.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's valuable data. Now I'm starting to see how the financial part is impacting them. Okay. So where do y'all go?
Just like probably grab something to eat, and then we'll like just have some conversation, probably like at a coffee shop or,
Okay.
Last time we was at his place, so we was able to go back to his place.
Okay. And you said that sometimes y'all meet halfway, so he'll drive an hour and you'll drive an hour?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And you do go to his place as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Listen, you can wait to see. I would just if you're going to continue seeing him, have an intern. You don't want, what you want to avoid is like this just being a perpetual, like, you just staying in limbo. Right?
Correct.
You want to have like a internal timeline as to when to cut things off. But here's the thing. If the financial aspect of things is really why he's holding up, he does not have a good plan financially.
I agree with you on that.
He doesn't have a good plan financially. This whole thing is like you're waiting for them to just arbitrarily make him manager at the job. That's not nothing that's guaranteed.
It's not.
It's not guaranteed.
Not at all.
So are you willing to wait until he randomly possibly becomes a manager somewhere as a forklift driver? And that's no shade to people who do that kind of work either. I'm just saying, like, just practically, like, are you willing to wait for that?
I'm willing to see see if he's able to do other things to get where he needs.
It doesn't, again, so you want to look at trajectory, not potential. So
Okay.
you're already talking about like him looking at other ways to make money. He ain't told you. He has not said anything that suggests that he's going to look for alternative ways to make money.
Yeah.
He's expressed a desire to make more money, but he has no plan. He's 30, so he's old enough to have one. He's old enough to where it's like if he did have some sort of financial savvy or some propensity for long-term planning, then that would be demonstrated by 30. That don't mean you gotta be successful by 30, but you should at least know. You should at least have like a plan. Maybe your plan didn't work out. I've had seasons where like I made a lot of money and then like went broke, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like things can happen, but like you at least you're heading somewhere though. He's talking about like I'll just generally, if I get a promotion, then I'll have more money, and it's like how much more money is that?
Yeah.
You know, just hitting manager don't necessarily mean a lot of money, especially in like those type of industries. So
That's fun.
those are things to consider because your future is hinged upon that. Because you got to think long term from that too. Okay, if you were
That's
to
right.
actually marry this person, assuming you want marriage, all right, are y'all financially compatible?
That's right. That's true.
You have to think chemistry and compatibility. You can't just think chemistry. A lot of y'all get caught up in how you feel with the person. So I like the person. I feel good. Cool. But the compatibility is the game. That's what's going to tell you long term how things are going to shape.
Yeah.
Because if compatibility is off, those good feelings are going to go away. You start fighting about finances. You start fighting about having to carry most of the financial burden of the household, shit like that. Them good feelings go away quick. So you got to really think about like, are we on equal footing? That don't mean that the person has to be where you're at. It just means they have to at least be thinking along. You have to be mentally, like, psychologically compatible, right? Meaning like he may not have the bread right now, but at least he's thinking in a way and moving in a way where you know it's going to happen. He just ain't arrived yet, but he's heading in that direction. That's what I mean by trajectory. You met the person, they were already headed on this path. You didn't just see potential. You didn't just say, "Oh, I can see what this person would be good at." He actually could if you just would put his mind to it. No, you want someone already putting their mind to it. You can be patient with that person. That person you can be patient with because they're making strides, right? The person who ain't even figured it out yet, there ain't nobody to be patient with.
Okay. That's why I came over here and said, let me see what Coach got to say about this.
Right.
But I appreciate you. You always give me some good nuggets.
Trying to. But let me know how it goes, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you take care, love.
All right, you too.
All right, people, if you want your 1 hour coaching call, it comes with 2 weeks of DM support. Just go to the link in my bio. You don't have to do the DM thing anymore. Just go to the link in my bio, click the link. It takes you to a YouTube video. In the description of that video, you can book your call, okay? So link in bio, click the coaching option. In the description of the YouTube video, click the link, and you can book the 1 hour coaching call with the 2 weeks of DM support, okay? That's for men and women. All right, well, I reckon. What's going on?
Peace, brother. What's happening?
Chilling, bro. What's up with you?
Everything's cool. Well, listen, as usual, I have a broad and rudimentary question.
Okay.
I've heard you and, some other folks that do dating content talk about the concept of detachment.
Right.
And I kind of struggle with it because, if I'm out and I see a woman, and I think she's attractive and I would like to, approach her to get her phone number and possibly go on a date. To me, acknowledging that attraction signals some level of intention. And so what I struggle with is this idea that I somehow go from that to thinking, well, actually, what I want is just to have a conversation or just to have a nice time in this club or this bar or just to meet a new person. It's like,
right.
What... You dig what I'm saying?
I got
so
you.
That's the part I kind of have
It's hard because you're basically saying like for me to make moves in any direction, it means that there's a goal I'm trying to obtain. And then when
Yeah,
you say detachment, you're trying to say to have no goal. But it's like, then what am I doing this for? Right?
exactly.
Okay. Make your goal. This is how you approach a woman with like, in your most attractive like state. When you approach, you're trying to figure out what's the truth between the two of you. Right? You're trying to see if there's any connection here. Is there any connection here? Right? So when you're talking to her, you're also like assessing her. Now, the reason why that makes you more attractive is because you don't come out the gate looking like you already sold on shorty. Because you shouldn't be. You're a man with options. If you have optionality, you shouldn't be sold. You should be a bit more discerning. That subcommunicates that you aren't for everybody. And that your attention and selectivity is special, right? That the woman in question will be chosen if you deem worthy. And she should be doing the same thing to you, right? So you're trying to figure out what is the truth between the two of you, if there's any connection there. Secondary goal can be self-amusement. This is where flirtation and stuff gets amplified. So when you're talking, make your goal to say and do things that amuse yourself, right? That put you in a more of a flirtatious state. Not in a clownish state when you're saying and doing things to impress her or make her laugh or make her feel a certain way. You're doing it to make yourself feel a certain way. You're saying things that you find funny. You're saying things that you find amusing. And if she also finds it funny and amusing, then great. But you're first and foremost saying and doing things to amuse yourself. And just pick which one of those goals you want to have, or a combination of both. But that's what's going to make you have much more engaging interactions, instead of trying to convince yourself that you have no goal.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like you're saying that basically, like, it's basically okay to have the intention, but just to shift what the intention is. Mm-hmm. And when you said not to already be sold, I think that's actually important for me, because I think I've basically been functioning that way in terms of that. So, yeah,
because it's so communication not used to it. If you're like, men who are used to beautiful women are not sold on beauty. Like, beauty don't do nothing for me. I can appreciate it, but I'm not certainly not choosing you because you're beautiful. But men who aren't used to it, they'll choose off of that variable alone, right? So when you are energetically giving off the vibe that like that's not enough for you, it makes you more attractive, because it's like, okay, one, he's used to it, so he must have something going for himself if he's used to this. But then two, it's like, women want to feel special and chosen. That's what they want. They don't want to feel like you chose them because they just happened to come across you at the right time. It's like, no, I want to feel like my man chose me because he had all these other people he could have chosen, right? Because he's just that kind. He's just him. He's just that guy. But out of all those people he chose me, right? So you kind of want to step into that energy, and that'll help a lot.
Yeah, I know that to be true too. Because I've been in relationships with women who really fit my physical ideal, but they were not people I should have been with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So no, you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that cooks a lot of people, man. That's why when I hear like all this don't get married, don't do this, that, and the third, I'm like, a lot of the mistakes, that bad situations people are in, they made a mistake much earlier in the process. It was that initial mistake that caused this current problem, right? A lot of people get into relationships for the wrong reasons. And if they get into the relationships for the wrong reasons, they ultimately get married, and they're destined to have bad marriages, because it's like you connected with this person for the wrong reasons to begin with. You got with her because she's beautiful. That's it. And then you find out you're not compatible. There was a guy up here who's supposed to get coaching. There was a guy up here who was complaining about his wife. And then we ultimately discovered that he only married her because she was pretty. That's it. But beauty fades, and you also get used to it very quickly. You get used to beauty very quickly, both men and women. Like if a woman gets with a man because he's attractive, that shit becomes old so fast. So fast. And then what you're stuck with is like just the energy of the person and their character, other qualities that they have, right? So then it's like, so the thing that you got into this for, like, ain't even doing it for you no more. Now you stuck with the real person. And it's like, you don't like it. So now you start treating them bad because you resent them. All right, it's nonsense. All the mistake is made. The first mistake is who you choose and the reason why you chose them. That's always the first mistake. So you have to be a little bit more intentional. Don't be neurotic with that decision, but that is the first mistake. The first, people try to fix connections after the first mistake was made. You're cooked after that first one. So you got to decide, well, but anyway, we're getting into the weeds. If you stick with this vibe of I'm assessing you, that's going to change even what questions you ask her, right? If you're in like an assessing mindset, you're not asking like, what do you bring to the table, anything like that. You're just assessing like, one, how do I even like this experience? Like, do I like this conversation with you? Do I like your vibe, right? A lot of guys are focused on like whether or not the woman likes them. You should be focusing on whether or not you like her. You feel me? You shift that focus, it's going to subtly impact your energy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I really appreciate that. I think yet again it just comes down to a mindset thing for me. I think I tend to think kind of mechanically about this kind of stuff, but
right.
It doesn't allow for the kind of fluidity and nuance that the situation sort of warrants.
Yeah, and it's also being okay with making mistakes too, man. Because like the ultimate thing is your. Is he still with us? I think we just witnessed someone turn into a ghost.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. That sounded like it was bad. All right. So, you at your most attractive state is you being present to the moment. You at your most attractive state is just you giving your presence. It's being here now. So the reason why I don't like going too much into the weeds when it comes to approaching or just like flirting or anything like that is because it puts people in their head. They start thinking about it. Like you said, mechanically, you think mechanically about it. You don't want to be the person dancing who people can see mouthing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Like, it takes you out of it. You want to be in the moment. You want to go with the analogy, lose yourself in the music. Right? So you want to be present to the moment. When you're in conversation with the woman, you want to be here and now. You may not say the perfect thing. That's okay, right? But your presence is going to make you more attractive. You not editing yourself is going to make you more attractive. Just try to be in the here and now. Yes, apply everything that we said, but what's more important than everything I just told you is being in the present moment. Because even having a goal, if like you're reminding yourself of this goal while you're talking to her, you're out of the moment. You're projecting yourself into the future, right? You want to be in the moment. That's really what it means to be detached from the outcome, is that you're not thinking about the outcome, you're just in the moment. You're in the here and now, and then you just flow with whatever the experience brings to you. Takes practice, but it's something that is definitely accomplishable.
All right, for sure. Well, I appreciate you as always, man.
No problem, big dog. You take care, man.
All right, you too. Peace.
Mm-hmm. All right, MCT, you're up.
Hello.
Hey, how you
Good
doing?
morning.
What can I do for you?
Can you hear me?
I can. What can I do for you?
Oh, so I wanna get your opinion about what I'm dealing with right now.
Okay.
I met a guy, probably like a month ago. But before that, we was talking through the phone, and I wasn't interested on him because he lived in San Diego and I live in California. It's like 2.5 hours from I live. But he very consistent, and then we met 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he came up to me like 2 times in the same week, and after that he's been sending me flowers. He's been sending me money for my stuff, the gas, the nails, everything. So, but not everything, but like for my own stuff. And he's telling me because he worked on the ocean, so he said he had to move different because he really want me to be his fiance in the future. So I kind of like, I never used to like somebody send me money for my stuff, so I kind of like, I don't know, I feel like what's going on. But he's very consistent. We do a video camera every day, and he talks to me every moment. So it's very consistent, everything. So I just want to hear your opinion. I feel like he's moving too fast, but in the meantime, I don't know. Like I'm confusing.
Okay. So how long have you been talking to him or dating him?
We was texting before, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, but I stopped texting because when he said that he was living in San Diego, I kind of not want to dating somebody out the state where I live. But then he reached out to me like a month ago and he said, I'm coming to you. You don't need to come to San Diego. So he came all the way here 2 times in the same week. And after that, he's been consistent, and also he has already planning to see me next week. But he's sending me money for the gas and my nails and all that. So he sends me flour every week. So it's like, okay, I don't know. I'm not used to that. So I'm just kind of like nervous. So I don't know. What do you think?
So he's been okay. I need to establish a timeline again. You say y'all. How did you meet him?
Say it again. I cannot hear you.
How did you meet him?
Where we meet it?
Yes.
Oh, well, he came to California. We meet at the Starbucks.
How did you? So you met him in Starbucks? That's when y'all first talked for the first time?
Yeah. We met at the Starbucks the first day, and the second day we went to Santa Monica, which is
No. How did you meet? How did you first know of his existence? How did you meet him?
Oh, through the Facebook app, the dating app.
Okay. How old are you two?
I am 42 and he's 37.
Okay. And you're in California. Where does he live?
He lives in San Diego.
Okay, he's in San Diego. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all were texting for a while, and then y'all met up at Starbucks. Okay, and then the next day y'all did what?
The next time it was at the view. We didn't have any. Actually, we not even kissed yet because he looked very respectful, very gentleman.
Okay.
I don't know if.
All right. Chill out with the alls, people. Remember his age. You say he's 37?
37 and I'm 42.
He's 37. Okay. Has he been married before?
No married.
Okay. He sounds like a great guy. I don't hear any red flags. Okay, consider this. If he's that great of a guy, why is he single at 37 if he moves this way? Consider that. He's 37. He's so respectful and giving. Why is he single? Never married. Why? Let's let the chat answer, because they seem to be fooled by behavior. Let's see. What do y'all come up with? That's why coaches need, because people get fooled by little, like, surface level shit. Why is he single? Let me hear some answers in the chat. And then we'll dig deeper into it, but I don't know, I want to see what the chat has to say.
I guess he have a fiance for 2 years and a half, and then I don't know, and they, he said they have a problem and they broke up.
Did he tell you what that problem was?
Uh, he said she was over controlling him, kind of like a little toxic woman. But it doesn't say that much about her. It just say that he's not really talk about mean things about her. He just mentioned that he was feel like that she controlled him a lot, like too much.
Do you know how long that relationship was?
He said it was 2.5 years, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. And when did he make her his fiance?
I didn't ask about that. I'm not sure about
Because
about that. So
people don't become controlling out of nowhere, right? So if you made
yeah,
someone your fiance, that means you've been dating them for a while. And if you say that you ended the engagement because she was controlling, she didn't just become controlling overnight.
but also because I guess she got pregnant, and then something happened, and he said that they they went through a lot after she got pregnant and she lost the baby.
Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. So y'all have gone on how many dates?
Me and him,
Yes.
it's like after we met like a month ago, and we see 2 times each other, and then we're gonna see each other on next week.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 3 times already that we're gonna see each other, but we do video camera every day, or we talk. The communicating is 100% every day.
How long have y'all been communicating every day?
Every hour he texts me how I am doing, and then we do video camera like at least 3 times through the day.
Okay. When did he start like giving gifts and giving money?
He started like after he saw me the second time. After like it been coming like 2 weeks ago. Like after I can say after 2 weeks that he left, that he come back to San Diego. Because he's working the ocean, he's not really being on the city. So he said because he's not gonna be, even though we move on to a relationship, he's really gonna be more at work, because he work inside the ocean, and they stay there for like 10 days, or it's depending on the schedule work.
Okay. All right. So 2 weeks after meeting you in person, that's when he started sending money and gifts?
Yeah, he send me flour every week. Send me for the gas. It's not sending me a lot of money. He's just sending me for like gas and nails and hair, things like that.
Gotcha. Did you ever ask him? Did you ever ask him why he sends you the money?
Yeah, I asked him, but he said because the minute he saw me, he know how value I am and the woman I am. So he said he's not gonna. He just telling me enjoy, because you deserve it. I can tell how you are, and I really like you, and I wanna make you to be my woman in the future.
No, this is love bombing.
That's what he said, but I kind of like, I don't move too fast, so I kind of like nervous, because I don't know, like I'm just trying to like get idea from people,
Right. Yeah.
It's too quickly to me. Send me money. I never ask him for anything, so it's kind of like, because here in LA it's not like that, so it's different. But he's not from LA. He's from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I also said that. He said because he's from Alabama, they treat the woman different. That's what he told me.
No, this is love bombing.
So
Chat, y'all are really letting me down by how y'all just got fooled by this guy. I see we haven't learned much. This is love bombing. Why is this love bombing? Because it's not congruent with where you are in the relationship. It's not congruent. Meaning, he doesn't know much about you yet to even make the decision of what you deserve. So if he
Right.
doesn't know enough about you to even decide, one, that he wants to be with you, or two, what you deserve, then he's projecting who he thinks you are onto who you really are. Right? He's not
Right.
seeing you. He's seeing his conceptualization of who he thinks you are.
Uh-huh.
You probably fit an aesthetic that he wants, and he's projecting onto that. And that's the woman who he's choosing. But he's not choosing you because he don't know you yet. Right? Here's a simple heuristic. A heuristic is just a way to make a decision, right? A simple heuristic. Whenever things are very high so fast, it means a crash is coming. If you meet somebody and shit is already up here, a crash is coming every single time. Every single time. See, women, they have their ego wrapped up in it, and they want to think that they deserve this treatment. Because women are constantly comparing themselves to other women. So if a
Right.
man starts treating you like a baddie, you're like, yeah, I deserve this because I am just as good as these women who get this type of treatment. And then you get bamboozled and then want to claim how men are manipulative. No, y'all both manipulated yourself. Like, you manipulated yourself to the situation, right? Because you made the goofy decision to think that someone could fall in love with you off of one conversation. You're not that dope. Nobody is. Nobody's that great. Nobody's that great for someone to be head over heels over them, really, out off of a date or two. Nobody is. Okay? So, a crash is coming. You can continue seeing him if you want, but I promise you a crash is coming.
Okay. Yeah, I asked him why he doing that. I questioned a lot, and then he said, "You made me feel to send it to you to treat you, because you are not giving me any." He said, "You give me peace when you talk and all that," and I kind of like, "Oh, okay," but yeah, I'm just I'm just confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you can do what you want, love. I mean, you continue seeing him if you want, but I promise you that this doesn't go well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank
No
you
problem,
so
babe.
much.
No problem. You take care.
All right. Thank you.
I think I saw someone in the chat say she's beautiful, so I think he likes her. Who gives a fuck how beautiful somebody is? Listen, liking you is not liking how you look. A stage one thinking. Liking you is not liking how you look. Liking you is liking you. Who are you? Right? People reveal their level of thinking by like the assumptions they make. Who are you? You are not your physical vessel. That's an aspect of who you are, but that's not you, right? So someone can't like you until they get to know you, not the fleshly vehicle that you're walking around in. That's not liking you. It's just liking how you look. Okay? I have to tell this to men all the time too, because they're like, guys are told like who likes you. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, but like let her see you first before you make that determination. Right? Until people are exposed to your personality, which is a deeper aspect of who you are, they don't know you and they can't possibly like you because they've not experienced you yet. Right? It's given lust. They like how you look. Exactly. It's just lust focused. But it's lust paired with, can we request? Of course you can request, Hannah. I feel like the last couple of times you requested, though, you dropped. You actually are trying to request now? How long does it take to know somebody? I mean, you got to spend time with them in order to know them, for sure. You got to spend time with them. You also have to see them in different scenarios, right? You got to be able to see them in different situations. You have to be able to see them in the mundanity of life, right? not just in a very stimulating experience. You got to be able to see them at rest. You need to be able to see them when they're a little bit annoyed. That's when you start to formulate a real picture of who this person is. You got to see them in the bonnet, like Danny said. Right. The advice I've heard given to men that was great advice to me was like, take it before you like lock shorty down, take a road trip with her. And I was like, that's good advice. Because when you're traveling, right, it can be like it's a stressor. It could be a stressful experience. So you get to see how they respond to stress. You also want to see how they respond to conflict, or like you setting boundaries, right? These experiences are how you know the person. You get to see different depths of who they are. But no, just looking at them is not knowing them. And if you don't know them, you can't possibly like them. You know what people mean by I like you? I like the feeling you give me. So he likes that he's out with a beautiful woman. And the feelings that he feels by being out with a beautiful woman is what he likes. And he associates her with that feeling. Women do the same shit. They do the same thing. That's what he likes. You like the feeling that you have with the person. But that feeling will change. You're on a high right now. And guess what? When that feeling changes, when that high goes down, guess what stops? Those fucking gifts. Those gifts dry up. Now, magically, she's not deserving of getting her nails done. Now, magically, she's not deserving of getting her hair done. Now, magically, she's not deserving of the flowers anymore. See how this works? And it works the same way every time. There are no exceptions. Every single time it works this way. So y'all gotta stop getting fooled by surface level behavior, okay? Thinking that means you're like so special. That fantasy that y'all have, women have of like being special, that's the same reason for your demise. Like, yeah, let someone treat you special after they actually see that you're special, which is they see you and have experienced you. They don't know that at the very beginning, though. They don't know that yet. Okay? So. All right. Let's bring somebody else up. Hannah, did you not request? I thought you were coming up. And my guys in the chat, y'all can come up too now. We don't want it to just be ladies up here. We want the fellas up too. Hello.
Hi, I don't know who's talking.
What did you say, Dose?
This is my first time getting on live.
This is your first time getting on live? Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Yes. Okay. I guess I just have a quick question. So I'm recently starting to date again. Mm-hmm. And I know you don't recommend using Hinge or like dating apps, but that's just like one of the tools that I'm currently using.
Okay.
And an issue that I'm running into is, you'll have a good conversation with people, but they never translate to going out on a date.
Right.
So I'm just trying to figure out like how to navigate.
You want to know why?
I don't want to pressure people or like ask people like, hey, like, are we gonna meet up? Do you want to meet in real life instead of just texting, FaceTime?
You want to know why that probably is, Dose of Tima?
What is that?
Okay. So you're a beautiful woman, right? So you're probably matching with very like attractive guys, right? Those attractive guys have 50 matches apiece, right? Mm-hmm. If not more. So they're probably not asking you up because their schedule is booked with dates.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured.
That's why I say don't do dating apps. The worst people to date are people who are actively shopping. When I was on dating apps, when I did this, when I didn't respond, when I didn't set a date up, it wasn't because I wasn't interested. I just was more interested in these other ones, and I already scheduled with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all it is. So it's like we have to. There's always other players on the board. So it's like the dating app. You don't have perspective of who they're talking to. right? And it's like we're so self-focused that we don't really think that, oh, there's other people out here doing the same thing. So it's like, yeah, you're one of 20 different conversations he's having. And he probably is all booked up for this week. And he gonna wait until something falls through and then fit you in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to mix in going out to, I forget what the word is that you use for, I guess, like going to the gym more often, or like different environments where I can be consistent in meeting new people.
Static environment.
So yeah, static environments. That's right.
That's gonna be the play. Every woman who's done that and they've done it the way that I prescribe has gotten results. I'm not saying they've met their husband yet, right? It's a long-term play, but I've always said that dating apps are insidious because they seduce you into getting fast results, but quality comes slowly, right? So you sacrifice quality for speed with dating apps. So yeah, you meet people quickly, you go on dates quickly. The quality is low though. With static environments, it takes a little bit longer, but the quality is higher. So
yeah, I'm not in a huge rush. It's just I would like to meet people in person so that you can gauge the vibe better and see where you can go. But okay, that's all I had to ask. I'll step off. Thank you so much.
No problem, love. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Again, people, if you want your 1 hour coaching call, it comes with 2 weeks of DM support. Hit the link in my bio. Click on the coaching option. It should take you to a YouTube video. In the description of that YouTube video, you can have the link to just book your call, okay? You don't have to DM me or anything unless you have questions. But if you want the 1 hour coaching call with 2 weeks of DM support, link in bio, click the coaching option, and the link for the actually book the call is in the description of the YouTube video, okay? That could have been a much longer conversation. It could have. I thought she was going to like elaborate more. I could have went deeper in my bag, but I think she just wanted to get like a real quick answer. Angel, what's going on?
Hey, Coach. Well, my friends put me on just now because we were talking about guys, and then I was like, oh yeah, talk to our coach. I was like, who is that? What's this name? So I just followed you real quick. I really appreciate you for the time. But real quick,
Nice.
So I was talking to someone, and I'm a student, and this dude goes to a different school a bit further out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, still close enough. And he is a mutual friend, like childhood friends with one of my close friends. So real cool person, came to a party and was all about connecting and talking with me. Very quiet person who keeps himself short conversations and everything. But once we clicked, we talked a lot and had a lot of stuff in common. So he was more comfortable, opened up, was hype, and a whole night, instead of hanging out with the boys or his friend who brought him over, he was chilling with me the whole time. We rode out until sunset. We were talking a lot about our favorite bands, our favorite everything. We bonded real quick, and I didn't ask for his IG. He's the one who actually ended up asking for mine. Even if I was interested, I gave him the ball, and I had his number and everything. And next thing I know, following day, we're going out to this like double date kind of situation that they're going in. But he still invited me because he told me he'd rather hang out with me than the people he was dragged with. I was like, that's low key bold, but okay, very forward. Next thing I know, we're in a car ride. There's a lot of like hand interlocking, holding, a lot of like sleeping on somebody's shoulder. I'm like, I just met dude, right?
Right.
It's giving family. It's giving we're in the same community, so it was very comfortable real quick. Next thing I know, through 3 weeks of straight up texting a lot, dude doesn't talk to much people, like I said, so he was very conflicted. He's like, not only are you easy to talk to, you're also very fun, interesting, and you know, like our vibes are pretty lit. So it's like talking to the same person. But 3 weeks straight, right? It was text and text. Sure, I initiate, but he was the one who really kept it engaged and double texted if I didn't respond quick, and was very intrigued in talking to me. After the 3 week mark hit, that's when things started to die down, right? So either I talked too much and we opened up too much too early. He did the same thing back, right? Trusted me with a lot of stuff, a lot of family stuff. We didn't go too deep, but we just analyzed life together, books we read. And it was pretty interesting to trust somebody that much. And he told me how much he respected me. And once we dissected unconditional love, mind you, I found out back in December, got his heart broken. That's 4 months ago. And so allegedly, I think it was a cheating scandal on his side, but he doesn't open up too much to that. And so it's too fresh for anything. But at the end of the day, he went from being like somebody who was really like willing to talk to me. Conversation dies down, only responds like a day later with reactions and stuff. I still tried to engage, but I told myself I just want, we could be friends, grateful experience, but then once you get hooked, once you get attached to somebody because of a routine, your mind kind of starts to ask the wrong questions. Why did I do something? It could be like a them thing, right? Could be like a broke situation or any kind of situation, healing situation, like wrong time, stuff like that. So I end up trying to be chill, but then on his TikTok, he has very limited people on there. It's very, very private. He added me so that we could chat more on there. And we were writing up until like 5 a.m., sending each other stuff or on Spotify Jam. So it was too personal to not be thinking, oh, he doesn't value me. But then his number goes up by 1. It was like only 18 people, right? So it's very obvious if the number goes up in following. I'm like, oh, it's the same week he's going dry. I wonder who it is. Let me just check. And it was a girl. Mind you, he told me that the TikTok is only for like very, very close people that he interacts with, like, you know, like on the daily. And it's not like Instagram for him. So it was just, what a coincidence. It was the same time, right? So when there was a party, same birthday situation, where at his school is, I go over and he was like shocked and excited to see me, but he was leaving every room I was entering in. One of his friends told me, hey, I think he respects you a lot and he doesn't want you to view him in a different way if you catch him in a different like vibe with our group than he was with you. And I was like, that's interesting. And his best friend of all time, as soon as I introduced myself, he was like, wait, Angel, wait, you're close to our friend, right? Oh, you guys are very close, right? I could go get him for you if you want. Like, he was hyping it up. And then to the group, he's like, guys, welcome her in. This is his girl. His girl? I don't even know you guys. And so why are you guys hyping up the situation more than it is? I was like, I think that's a good sign if the friends like you. But altogether, it was kind of a messy situation. So my friends are like, you know what? Ask Coach. Let's see what he has to say about the situation. But that's mostly, I guess, what it is. Now I just let it die down kind of altogether. And I check up on him from time to time. So we still talk pretty good. Vibes are nice. But then, you know, we just stopped engaging over text because, you know, some people just don't want to give you too much of their time. So that's what I came down to.
So he stopped investing so much energy in y'all's connection?
Yeah.
Okay. But y'all like connected immediately?
Yeah.
Okay. So like y'all met and then got in the car and then were holding hands and like laying on each other's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, when people give out an easy yes, they're giving that out to everyone.
Awesome. Okay, good to know.
All right, you got an easy yes. I'm sure he's giving out many easy yeses. He has a boundary issue, right?
Uh-huh.
He gives away too much of himself too quick. He opens up too fast, right? People like this are flight risk for cheating as well. You said he cheated in the past, probably with Ness, right?
Got cheated on, I think.
Well, he also people like that will cheat too because they're just too open with everybody, right? They don't have any boundaries.
Uh-huh.
They don't have any boundaries. Like he didn't make you earn access at all. He just gave it away, right? So he's giving it away to other people too, which is why that following list went up, right? And there's also like inconsistencies. You're connecting with me this easily, but then you said that TikTok is for close people. How are you even defining close? I said hello to you, and now we're holding hands.
Right.
It sounds like anyone can get close to you.
Right. Okay.
Right? People like that we're susceptible to people like that because people want it. Our ego wants to feel special. So if somebody makes you feel special, you don't question it because it's already something you want to believe about yourself. But you should always ask, have I done anything to make this person perceive me this way? Right? Like, does this match the phase that we're in our connection? It doesn't. Like if he went on like 4 dates with you and then started treating you like you're special, it tracks because he's had enough of an experience of you to determine that you're special, right? Saying hello to you at a party, he don't know you well enough to talk about any kind of special quality you have. He don't know you yet. It's similar to the previous caller.
I hear you. But then conversations you have with people, like even though it's not in person, that's not enough to determine who you are, right?
You need that to accumulate over time. You're not gonna have one conversation with the person and be like they're special to me.
True, but it's not really it was like a 3-week thing where it was like back to back with different topics. I feel like
I get it. The signal for me out of everything you said was how quickly he moved, like when y'all first met,
yeah.
and how much he was sharing himself when y'all first met. That's the signal to me. If he did it that fast for you, he's doing it that fast with almost anyone.
I hear it. It makes sense. So it's more so like the result is like an ego situation.
Yeah, this was just a right place, right time situation. You just met him at the right time. But it's like, yeah, I'm not saying he didn't like you. I'm not saying he does that with just any person who crosses his path. I'm just saying it's a very low bar. It's like, okay, you're pretty. All right, yeah, I'll open myself up to you. Right? That's probably the bar.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much, Coach.
No problem, man. You take care.
Thank you.
Danny said he going. He's a goer, Danny. Yeah. He's a goer. That's a stage 1 person, that guy for sure. Stage 1 people are all about feelings. I feel this way. It's not much thinking going on. They react, they don't respond. They react, they do not respond. My issue is I think I deserve princess treatment all the time, so I like love bombing. Yeah, that's definitely your issue. That's definitely your issue. That would be a turnoff to, hold on, what somebody say? Nothing wrong with love bombing when it's too soon. That's when it's a problem. I mean, that's what love bombing is. Do you understand? Love bombing is it being too soon. You're conflating love bombing with being loving and generous. 2 separate things. But the princess treatment shit, yeah, that's going to make you attract people who love bomb you like that. Ain't nobody just hand out princess treatment. No quality man is. Nope. Someone who's projecting on you will give you princess treatment. Yeah, they'll do that. So you'll have short-term connections. That won't be it's not a long-term thing. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Can't believe he was ducking her in person like that. Yeah, he wanted to avoid her. And I think his friends were trolling. I don't think they were serious. I think they were giving him some shit. Are you doing this again, bro? You got another one? Where is she? Right, I can already see young guys like that trolling. I got something I want to say. Why didn't you just say it? Why do y'all do the preambles? Just say the shit that you have to say, man. Damn. Or request up. And this is for questions. This ain't for you making proclamations either. I don't care about your worldview. If you have a question, you can come up. For the first girl, is there a way for her to get guys to ask her on dates? What was the first girl? I forgot the first girl. You have to refresh my memory. I've convinced some people in the chat. Don't be listening. Bro, there's people I've been seeing for a long time, and some of the statements they make, I'm like, you can't have been listening to like the past 10 episodes of this shit. Dose, what's going on?
Hello again.
Hello.
So I had another question. I just thought about this. So I want to make sure that I'm giving people who I meet either in person, online, wherever, a fair opportunity. And I think in the past I would cut people off too quickly. So like, let's say I give somebody a week and like he hasn't planned a date. I would just say, it doesn't seem like we're aligned in what we want, and just like cut it off. So I don't know if I'm wrong in doing that.
I'll say a week.
Okay.
I'll say a week or 2, right? 2 max.
Yeah,
But really, like, think about it like this. Within a week, there should be like at least progression to a date, where at least we're starting to even start getting schedule alignment and stuff like that. Right? Like, women call into the show and they're like, we've been talking for a month. He hasn't asked me on a date yet. I'm like, a month?
Oh yeah, no,
What are we doing? What are we doing? It's like when I coach guys, I'm like, when you get on a dating app, especially, Your first step is you want to get her off the app. You want to get her number. After that, you want to get her speed. And fellas who are using dating apps, hear me and hear me well. Speed is very important with dating apps, right? Same thing I told Dose in her original question. It also applies to men. You're not the only person she's talking to. She may end up with a lesser man because he just asked her out first. Speed is incredibly important, right? So on a dating app, especially. So you gotta move fast. And I ask guys, like, why are we waiting so long? Because I started making this content, I would tell guys like to get them out quickly. And they will be like, well, I want to get to know her first. And I'm like, that's what the fucking date is for. The date is for you to get to know the person. You're not getting to know you shouldn't be asking date questions via text before the date. The questions you ask before the date are like superficial, like fun, vibey questions, right? You're just kind of building momentum, building chemistry. The date is where depth is going to occur. But anyway, Dose, yes, to answer your question, I think a week is fair. 2 weeks max if you want to give them a little bit of grace because of the scheduling conflicts, like I said before. Again, assuming this is a dating app situation. But a lot of times you still won't get what you're looking for because, again, if this is dating apps, people default to the person who they have the most interest in, who is most. Everyone's punching up on dating apps.
Right.
That's one of the problems with it. Everybody's punching up. That's why can't nobody find nobody, because they're punching up to someone who's kind of in the upper limits or outside of what they can realistically get, and that person they're punching up on is doing the same shit. So they'll end up letting like the other options that are actually a good match for them fall to the wayside in an attempt to get something that's normally will be out of their reach.
Okay, and then I had another question about static environments because I live in Atlanta and a lot of people, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already hear about the dating scene here, so I just don't really know like where to go. I feel like the things that I enjoy doing, like men typically don't do those things. So
Like what?
Like reading, home decor.
Reading is hilarious.
I like training my dog. That's one of my hobbies too.
Okay.
That's.
I'm sure there's not dog training, but dog adjacent activities that probably would be make for a static environment. So that's something that you could experiment with. But there also may be some room for experimentation. So you want to think like laterally. So you want to think about like, okay, the things I like doing, what are adjacent activities to those things? Like I just gave you with the dog thing, right? Think laterally. What are other activities around this domain that there may be a static environment cultivated for that? And let me place myself there, right? But there's also like more like obvious things. Like if you go to the gym, going to the gym at the same time every day is a static environment because people go to the gym on a schedule. So if you go to the gym at the same time, then you're going to see people who sync up with that schedule. Hence, it is now a static environment. But again, when you put yourself in these static environments, the goal is not to look for like a romantic connection, right? It is people who typically have dating problems really have social problems. So you want to go there and just socialize, right? You want to go there and just make platonic connections as well. Because every platonic connection you make could potentially introduce you to the romantic connection. Thoroughly recommend. It's a great networking scene overall. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I don't know much about Yacht Club Super, so I don't know. Not really my thing, but I hear you. You just said something. What do you mean? About the platonic connections? Right. Did you hear that, Dose? I can't hear you. You still there? Sorry, I got disconnected. Okay. Yeah, still silent on your end. There we go.
Sorry, my sister was calling me and then I thought it disconnected.
You're good. You're good. What's the last thing you heard?
I don't remember. Oh, about the gym and going consistently at the same time.
Yeah, so the gym could be a static environment if you go at the same time, but don't go into these static environments looking for romantic connections, because dating problems are really social problems, right? So you want to make platonic connections as well, because every platonic connection you make could potentially lead you to a romantic connection. If you hyper fixate on like finding a man, you're going to miss out on serendipity. You're going to miss out on platonic connections that could take the scenic route till you get into the same destination.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing I don't want to also do is just be so hyper focused on finding a person.
Right. You should go to these places and enjoy yourself. And part of enjoying yourself is just connecting to the people there without any goal attached to it. Allow it to come to you, right? Hold this desire loosely. Don't grip it.
Okay.
That's kind of how like things tend to work out in your favor. It's like the reality that we live in. It kind of responds negatively to like aggression, like really trying to fixate on one goal. It's like just what they call it, the law of assumption. Just assume it's going to happen.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you again.
No problem, love. You take care, all right?
Bye.
Again, people, if you want your 1 hour coaching call, again, it comes with 2 weeks of DM support. So you get access to me for 2 weeks via DMs. Link in my bio, hit the coaching option. It takes you to a YouTube video. In the description of that YouTube video will be where you can book your call. Okay? Dating in general is exhausting. It is exhausting. But it's partially exhausting because people are trying to go right to dating. You want to go upstream. Again, people who I know who have the best social lives don't have a problem dating. They don't have a problem dating. I need to find a better way to articulate this because I feel like this is a better point than y'all are receiving. Like this is more true than how I'm explaining it is resonating. People who have the best social lives don't have dating problems, for real. They don't. Their social circle does the vetting for them, so they don't have to vet so hard when they actually go on the date. When you're going directly, when you're treating the dating problem like it's a dating problem, you only find dating solutions because you define the problem wrong. If you don't properly identify the problem, the solution that you prescribe is going to be off. Okay? So you're thinking you're having a dating problem. You're not. You're having a social problem. The symptom of your social problem is a dating problem. Okay? But when you think it's a dating problem, you prescribe dating solutions, which is why you are using dating apps. Dating apps are a dating solution, but they're not solving your real problem, which is a social problem. The dating problem is a symptom of the real problem. Moz, can we clip that? Can we just timestamp that? Because I've said that numerous times. I'm like, I don't think people get it. So I need to articulate it better. Your dating life is a symptom of your problems, not the problem. Right. So you're prescribing the wrong solution. I'm considering dating one of my homeboys after 2 years. We both admit undeniable chemistry. All right, so it's getting kind of late in the game, huh? Y'all like, huh? Playing musical chairs, everybody. All them chairs taken up in this bitch. All right, I guess this chair is nice. Guess it's a social problem. I hang out with the same 3 people. Right. It's always a social problem. It's always a social problem. I know people, and it's easy to get how you're explaining people just... It's easy to get how you're explaining people just slow. You know what's funny? I've never seen this person comment before, but I know that they meant what they just said. They've been sitting here watching, and they're like, I gotta say something, because this shit's annoying me. I know he's making sense. Y'all just aren't getting it. Yeah, it's 100% a social problem. It's like I want a relationship, but the amount of work it takes to get there and keep is intimidating. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't going to say it. Right. Yeah. Yes, you pegged me. Okay, so it's like I want a relationship, but the amount of work it takes to get there and keep is intimidating. I get it. But here's the thing: change your perspective, change your mindset. It's because of how you are internalizing the purpose of a relationship. People think relationships serve the function of making you happy. That is a byproduct, sure, of the right relationship. You're going to feel a lot of emotions, not just happiness. But they are vehicles for psychological growth. The person that you are in a relationship with is going to see you with more clarity, if you've chosen well at least, with more clarity than anyone else in your life. They're going to trigger you more than anyone else in your life. It is an opportunity for you to grow psychologically. So yes, it is work, but it's worthwhile work because you grow as a person. But you're thinking about the work as if the work is going to be in vain, and it's not. The work helps you to grow psychologically. The work helps you to become a better person. The gift of a relationship is if you view it with the right perspective, you can emerge a better version of yourself than who you were when you entered it. So the work is the gift. Let's clip that, Mods. Timestamp that too, please. People need to hear that. It's part of the reason why they struggle so much. They're like, you're not the right one because I'm not super happy with you. I'm not super happy with you, so this must not work. Yes, the work is the gift. But if you are already tired, the work is overwhelming. Why are you already tired? All right, let's see what Buddy's talking about. He's going to keep bugging me in the chat until I do. So let's see. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man?
I just want to say that I do appreciate the work you do, but a while back, man, you gave me some advice. I've been taking it for like the last 5 months, and it ended up not working. And I'm just wanted to ask you, like, do you just give people like
what advice did I give you? Let's talk about it. What advice did I give you? No, bring him back up, Danny. Because he's been begging for attention in the chat. Request back up, Tismala, and let's see what he's talking about. Request back up. All right.
So you know who I am. I was telling you about my ugly thing that I had going on, and you gave me some advice about it, and I followed your advice. I literally did exactly what you said for the last 5 months. I hit the gym, bought new clothes, I did what you said, and at the end of the day, me being ugly has still been making my life extremely hard, and nothing has worked.
Okay, so you were the guy who was wearing the mask around, right?
Yes.
Okay, now what happened with that situation that you DM'd me about where something was going positively in your direction? What happened?
He ended up ghosting me.
Okay.
And I haven't had any attention since.
So what have you been doing?
I just went back to my old ways because it wasn't working.
What wasn't working? So how many times did you try?
I literally, like, for those 5 months, I was literally walking around my campus and I would literally interact with not every single girl, but every time I saw a girl, I would try to interact.
Okay.
Literally, and I was like literally doing everything you said, and nothing worked.
When you said everything, when you say everything I said, what did you do? Itemize it. Go down the list.
So I would go to the gym, and then maybe on my way coming back from the gym, I try to spark up a conversation. I even had one girl, like, I asked for her name, and she literally said, "I don't want to give you my name."
Okay.
And these are things that I think, and I'm not trying to tell you how to run your panel, but I really think that you should be
No, we're gonna start. We're not going to criticize my account. My life is good. We're focused on your life right now. My life is good. My business is good. There's no feedback I need from you. So we're gonna focus on your situation. If you want to change it, we can continue having the conversation. If you came up here to critique my business, that ain't gonna happen right now. Okay.
No, I do.
So I'm not changing my business to help one person when thousands of people have been helped. Okay. I'm not changing everything just to help Tismala. All right. So I'm going to keep doing things the way I've been doing it, but I do want to help you, okay? Now, you said that you've applied everything I've said. You have not applied everything that I've said. Not everything is going to work for everybody. That is life. People start at different levels. You started at a very low level. That sucks for you, but that's what life is about, right? There are some people who are dyslexic. So it's harder for them to start a business. It's harder for them to make it through school. But they accept that they're going to have to put in more work. So they just fucking accept it. You're going to have to do the same thing. Okay? So yeah, you may have an aesthetic to where if you go up to someone and just have a conversation, it's not going to work for you. That don't mean that nothing will, but it means that you have to have the strength of character to keep trying until something clicks. What you just told me is you tried one way, that didn't work, so you went back to your old ways. You put the mask back on. We don't do that around here. You don't give up. I don't care if this shit takes 10 years. You keep trying. 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 You iterate. Iterate means you make changes. You look at what the feedback is, and then you change based on the feedback. So if I was in your situation, which is a hard situation, I hear you. I wouldn't want to change places. That's a hard situation, but it's the cards you've been giving. Your role in life is to play the best hand possible, right? So you may not be the type who can go up and just start off a conversation with somebody. You may have to play a different game. You may have to go the status route. You may have to go the route where you position yourself in a domain where you have where your competence in that domain is on display, right? That's another play. That's actually the exact advice that I give men who don't really look that great, while also telling them to do whatever they can to look their best, right? Do whatever they can to look their best. Right, good. So you've made progress, and there was fruit from your progress. You had a woman who was engaging you. Yes, she ghosted you, but you made progress. This is not, oh, I do this and then now I get a girlfriend. No, you make progress, then you iterate. So what you did worked, because before you got no female attention, and you went from getting no female attention to female attention. Who happened to ghost you? That's life, that's the game. But you made progress. You're not looking at it as progress because you wanted the outcome to match what you had in your head. You wanted to finally get the girlfriend. You wanted to finally get the experience that didn't work out for you. That's understandable. I get that. But you're not focusing on the progress. It's progress, not perfection, right? I have to do this as a business owner every day. I have to test offers. I have to see what the market gives me. If I create an offer nobody buys, I have to say, okay, well then I need to change this offer, right? You are an offer. Nobody is buying it, then you change the offer. You change either the product, which you have been doing. You've been getting into the gym. You've been adorning yourself differently. That's great, right? But you may have to change the marketing. Your marketing probably is off. The way that you are marketing yourself is you are trying to talk one by one to these women. That's probably not going to work for you. It will probably work eventually if you put in enough reps, right? Cold approach is something that has very low odds for everybody. You're not unique. A handsome guy has low odds cold approaching. It's not a great way to meet people in general. Anyone who is successful with cold approaching is talking to a lot of people. A lot of people, right? And then you're taking something that has low odds of success for even a guy who looks good, and you, being a guy who doesn't look good, are expecting it to work better. It's probably not going to. You have to change your approach. So the better way to approach this with humility is to say, hey, I tried what you said. This didn't work. Here's my results. What can I change? Not what you're doing, which is I tried this, therefore you should change your business. That's loser energy. So that energy that you came to me with was unattractive to me. That turned me off. So I know you're turning women off. You're turning women off. Ugly. It's not just because you're ugly. You got ugly energy too, boss man. But I hope you get it together. All right, Miles, get him blocked too. I tried with that guy, man. But let's also get him blocked. I don't like that shit, bro. Don't come with that like weak shit. It's because I'm ugly. I'm just ugly. Too old for that shit, bro. That was big bro advice I just gave you. I don't like you as a person now, but I do hope that shit gets better for you. But you're too old for that shit. Your energy is unattractive. You're coming out the gate defeated. You're mentally defeated. So of course women aren't going to respond to you because women want winners. And you coming out the gate like a loser. Bro, get it together. Let's bring Danny up. We need Danny to sage the room real quick.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Chief?
My bad on pulling him earlier. I didn't know you had already talked to him. I just kind of picking up on patterns. Usually the people that are spamming.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Make sure they give troll vibes.
No, you're good. That guy, he had like an account where he was calling himself, his name was like Ugly Acolyte or something. I'm like, bro, you're putting your name, like I already can tell so much about you because you're putting ugly in. Why are you identifying with this shit?
Yeah.
Right? Why? And he did try. I remember him at he DM'd me. Like, he did that shit before. He was like, I feel like you're giving false hope, right? He did that shit before in live. This was a long time ago. This was no, he's not trolling. This was like, what was it? Hannah isn't here. This is when just Hannah was like Hannah wasn't a mod yet, but this was, I only knew Hannah from the chat. This was like probably month 2 or 3 when I went live. And he was complaining. I handled him with white gloves, did the best I could with him. He DMs me like a month later talking about that win that he got, right? He changed his name and everything. I'm like, shit is going well for him. And I also told him, DM me if you ever have any questions. I was going to coach Buddy for free. Saying I charge motherfuckers $1,500 for coaching. I was going to do that to him for free. I was like, you come here, you let me know what's going on. I would help you, bro. Because I have a soft spot for people like that who struggle. He didn't take me up on it. He ain't never asked me another question. Which is why with your offer, I wouldn't do it for free for long because people don't respect free shit. They don't apply shit when it's free. So it's like a lot of business owners try to give free shit. There's people who I've given my course for free. There's young guys who come on this live. Y'all have heard me say it. It'll be a young person in college and they need help. I'm like, bro, send me your email and I'll send you the course. I can see when people log into the course. I can see how much progress you made. Because it's free, they don't respect it. I charge $200 for the course. I'm giving it to you for free. But they don't respect it because they haven't invested. They have no skin in the game. You have to make people pay for shit. That's the thing that makes them want to actually implement the change because they have skin in the game now. When it's free, they don't respect it. But be that as it may, I was going to help Buddy for free. He never asked me another question. Now you come back 5 months later like I told him some wrong shit. No, man. This is on you. This is on you. You're not taking ownership of your situation. What's up, Bug? I didn't see you in the chat, bro.
Yeah, there's like an over-indexing on the parents are feeling like that's the problem. You know, I've certainly been there and done that, but you kind of have to outgrow that. You know, everyone looks different. And kind of, you already hit the nail on the head. You said everything that needed to be said. You know, we're all dealt different cards. You got to learn to work with what you have.
I feel him. Like people, like I think that is. I hear what he's saying because people don't speak to that reality. That's why like the looks maxing community has gotten so big because people don't speak to men and women who are below the looks, who are below average because they exist, and they do have a completely different experience. They feel invisible. Like I get it, right? But it's like, you still, I mean, what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do, right? You're just going to sit there and mope around? It's like, you got to do something. So it's like, all right, well, let's focus on what we can improve. Let's optimize what can be optimized, right? Get in the gym, get your dress well, get your basics handled, and then we're going to find a domain that actually can work for you. But if you walking around like constantly telling yourself you're ugly, bro, like that shit going to come across your energy. I can already tell you walking around slouched. You know, looking at the ground, probably not making eye. I can already tell certain things about just by how you're talking to me. And that shit ain't attractive. So yeah, you slouch, walking up to a woman, breaking eye contact, talking low. Yeah, can you, what's your name? Like you don't even believe the words coming out of your own mouth. Yeah, she's probably not going to tell you her name. I know what to change about you. I know what buttons to press. But I'm not incentivized to help you press those buttons if you're coming at me sideways. And I already was nice to him before because he already came me sideways to begin with. And I still was nice to him. Hannah, I tell you that conversation. So, yeah, I don't like things like that. So you can't save everybody, man. Some people, I mean, for there to be winners, there must be losers. Yeah. Some people just gonna lose. And unfortunately, Buddy might be one of them.
That defeatist mentality is not going to help them at all.
Right.
Just never a good thing.
You got to prepare for it, man. Since you already started your coaching practice, you're going to have that type of smoke coming your way as well.
Yeah, I already do kind of get it. But
really?
That comes with the territory of doing this for free, which I'm really only doing. I'm treating this TikTok space like my internship. Like, this is where I'm kind of learning, feeling out where I'm strong, where I need to lean on, what direction I'm really going to go into. And then once I get a feel for that, probably not going to be doing, much less doing it for free, but even doing it on live streams or anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I take more of a biblical focus on my business, so it's like part of the reason why I do these lives is like I think just give your value away, right? There are some people who watch this live thinking that paying for coaching isn't necessary because I'm answering people's questions. Like people who've purchased coaching would tell you we go a lot deeper with the coaching. So this live is not the equivalent of a coaching call. Again, people, if you want your coaching call, 1 hour coaching call, link in bio, click the coaching option. It takes you to a YouTube video. In the description of that video, you can hit the link to purchase your call. It comes with 2 weeks of DM support. Okay. So, but I like this. I like this whole thing where, I get to see I use this really as a way to generate content. Yeah. So I want to taste the experiences that people are currently having in real time. That's also why I give a free 30-minute coaching call to people who purchase the course. Because I want more. What are your problems? What are your problems? What are your problems? That way I can update the course, and that way I can better pattern match solutions for both clients, but also to make content. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. That's actually a really smart idea. I need to revisit the course. I crushed it when I first bought it, but I imagine it's changed a lot since I purchased it.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep changing. I haven't put anything about the 4 stages in the course. I'm going to make a YouTube video today about the 4 stages. Subscribe to YouTube as well, people. Link in bio for that. I'll also stream these lives. I'm currently streaming on YouTube right now. So if you want to ever watch replays of the lives, go to YouTube. Check that out. Link in bio. But yeah, the course is going to continue being updated. I want it to be a full life cycle, like covers what I used to pitch it was, covers everything from your first conversation with the woman all the way to maintaining a happy, healthy relationship, right? And as I also gain more experience, potentially into a relationship, things of that nature, right? The course is going to continue being updated. And as I update it, that price is being raised.
Right.
The price is going up. That's why the price of the coaching call going to go up. That's why I told people, like, don't sit on the shit. Get it while it's underpriced. It's currently underpriced.
Do you think once you have the course in like a place, like a satisfactory place, you think you would probably price it like people buy the course and then every year you'll do like an update on it and then kind of charge for an update? Would that be a better model for pricing that?
No, the people who purchase, knowing that they'll get constant updates incentivizes people to purchase at the current price point.
Okay.
So that's part of the pitch. And then, but the price definitely is going to continue to go up, though. Right? My coach sells his course is $1,000. Is it $1,000? It might be higher than that. I think it was on sale for $1,000. I think it was like $1,500. But when I purchased his course years ago, it was like $300. Well, every time he added shit to it, he increased it, as you should. It's more valuable now.
Yeah.
But everything I put out is valuable. You get the course. You get access to my Telegram group where you can just ask me. So the 2 weeks of DM support that I tell people they get with the coaching, people who get the course get that DM support for life.
Yeah.
Because if they ask questions in the Telegram group, I or you and any future other man who wants to come in and like answer questions, give them answers to their questions. So it's a and it's also the course price, the current course price is credited to coaching. So that $1,500, which is also going to go up when guys get the full 3-month coaching package. And if they've gotten the course, I credit the current course price, not what they paid. So you pay like $97, whatever the current course price is, they get that credited to the coach. I'm very fair with my pricing.
Yeah.
Very fair with the shit.
Actually, based on some of the other coaches I've hired before, that pricing tracks with what you'd expect for quality coaching, to be honest.
Oh, it's going up though. My coach charges $3,000 for the same offer, the 3-month container. It's $3,000. But my coach, he like saves marriages and shit. Like he's married. I can't position myself that way because I'm not married. But like he saves, but there's always like, because he's not single, he can't really say he knows what's working right now. He'll convince you that he does, and he does to a point, but I know he doesn't. He's been out of the game too long. He knows principles, and principles are more important. Fair. But there are slight nuances that he might not get because, like the whole thing about like the stages, right? What me and you discussed a couple of days ago. He ain't had that experience. That's a blind spot of his. That's why I was so frustrated. I'm like, why has nobody had talked to this experience that I've been having? He couldn't talk to it because he wasn't having it. And then the guys who hired him weren't at that stage yet. The guys who, like, when I look at his Telegram community, because I'm still in it, I still go in there from time to time for inspiration, for like see what other guys are struggling with. It's a lot of like stage 2 guys on the way to stage 3, and a lot of like really safety heavy guys, and they're still safety heavy. They're not really sparky guys. They talk in a way that's kind of like feminized a little bit. And if they do talk that harsh masculine talk, if you look at them, they don't look like they talk that way. They're probably chubby, a little soft.
Right.
They look they look non-threatening. There's no edge to them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, y'all aren't a match either. But anyway, he's very effective. But that's why I was telling you to lean more into writing, because his whole business is built off of Twitter. So it's like, he makes more than I do with a fraction of the audience. So the audience size really doesn't matter. It's more about like, are you good at what you do? What is your positioning, right? And are you out marketing people? So like I'm currently out marketing people on TikTok because all the other dating coaches don't have the amount of views that I have. Their views are lower. So I'm out marketing them. But it's also TikTok. People don't buy on TikTok like that. Women do.
Yeah.
Men don't. Not, unless you like TikTok shop or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see a bunch of them. They'll have like the TikTok shop bar and stuff. That's where they try to pull people.
Right.
With their content.
Right. Yeah, the TikTok shop, that's the play to make money on TikTok. But even with that, it's still women, man. I remember I used to like sell t-shirts. I used to run like Facebook ads. It was called Boss Beards. And I was like, I'm not selling these fucking shirts. What's wrong with me being... I was young too, bro. I was probably 21 and I was trying to get into the t-shirt wave. It has always been entrepreneurial. Like I used to sell candy in school and shit. So, someone told me, it was like, you're targeting the wrong people. I was like, what do you mean? They were like, don't target men. Because I would like I would run Facebook ads and I would, and a dope ass logo, Boss Beards. And I would target men with beards and they would always comment like, yo, I need this shit's fire. And they would never buy. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these dudes? The shirt is like $20, right? And then somebody was like, you gotta target women who got boyfriends with beards or husbands with beards. And I did that and I got sales. I said, ain't that about a bitch? Women keep the economy afloat. They're the ones that willing to spend money.
Yeah.
So even
that kind of plays into my conspiracy theory about a lot of kind of the dating space and the content made and why women are kind of pushed the way they are. Because I think my conspiracy theory is they make more money keeping people single.
Yes, for sure.
It's an economic driver.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
100%. 100%. My coach thinks he's very like conspiracy theorist. And he thinks like they're trying to just break down the nuclear family. That's what he would die on that hill. He views feminism as a vehicle to break down the nuclear family. Even though he acknowledges it was necessary, he still thinks that the intention of it was a psyop to break down the nuclear family. Especially like third wave feminism. Not like first wave, but like third wave when it's like more misandrist focused. Can make an argument. Also like them breaking down like get women in the workforce. Like when women came into the workforce, men's wages they lowered them. Right.
I think they I feel like the breaking down the nuclear family is kind of a downstream consequence. Mm-hmm. I think they realized that because women have most of the spending power in the economy, it's just beneficial to give them more money.
And they know women, they know people who make these decisions, they know human nature. They also know women want to mate select for men who are more advanced than them. Biologically, they want that, right? But then you put them in a position to where they're outdoing the men. So it's like, now I have fewer men to choose from.
Yeah.
So now let's introduce the messaging of like, you don't need a man at all. You should just be yourself. Actually, sexual liberation, just fuck whoever you want to fuck. And what's the need for partnership? Just have sex with anybody. And then people are like, yes, I will obey. And it's like, they don't know the psyoping that's going on. They have no idea. Psyoping is basically psychological warfare. So it's all about, we want to know how effective psychological warfare is. Where do y'all think the concepts of an engagement ring came from? Women in the chat, answer that question. Where did the concept of engagement rings come from? Do you know the answer to that question, Danny?
My understanding is...
No, don't answer it. Don't answer it. I'm just asking yes or no.
I think I do.
Okay.
I remember reading about this a while back.
All right. We don't know. Hannah is shrugging her shoulders. I don't know. Interesting. I want to know. Let me see. You know about that? Okay. So the jewelry companies, diamonds aren't rare at all. They like hold back the amount of diamonds they have in order to increase scarcity so they can increase the amount of money they make. So the jewelry companies had this bright idea. There's a guy named Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays has a book called Propaganda. And he talks about propaganda. Propaganda has been a tool that's been used historically to get people to think whatever the powers that be want them to think, right?
Yeah.
So they hired Edward Bernays to help them sell more diamonds. So he had the genius idea to get Hollywood celebrities, women, to wear engagement rings as it being a symbol of love. So they just promoted this idea that these diamond rings are a symbol of love. So then women saw that and they were like, oh yeah, I need an engagement ring. I need that should be the thing that's given to me before I get married. And then that's why you today expect a man to propose to you with thousands of dollars he spent on this ring. Because they just wanted to sell more of those diamonds. And they convinced you that the man does not love you if he does not give you this. Now, here's the power of psyoping and psychological warfare. You can know that and still expect one.
Yep.
So I just told them. They know that now. They still expect one. I'm not saying you're wrong for expecting one either, but I'm just giving you this is how powerful psychological warfare is. Because you're like, okay, that makes sense, but I still want to be iced out, like Danny just said. You still get me the ring, right? And again, not trying to convince you not to think that way. I just want you to think like, oh, this is why, like, because of marketing or propaganda, how much did that impact your life? Right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point that where you will make a husband decision based off of marketing, what was marketed to you. See what I'm saying? So yeah, Michael he's big on like the psychological warfare. The psyoping is the reason why they're really just trying to break down the nuclear family, because it's just a divide and conquer tactic.
Yeah.
And you make, like we talked about, insecure attachment, right? I would posit, I have nothing to back this up, but I would posit the reason why we're seeing the increase in insecure attachment, one of the reasons, right, is because the nuclear family is breaking down. People are getting divorced, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can really raise a secure child in a one-parent household.
Right.
I don't think you can. I think that child's automatically come out with some sort of issues. So now they're damaged, and well, not damaged, but well, I guess damaged, right? Now they're damaged, and they're going to make damaged decisions.
Yeah. There's a sense of abandonment, right? Like,
right. So now
it's like you're being abandoned by a parent if they're not there all the time.
And now a generational curse is born. Now we have birthed a generational curse. He or she has now had their vision of family warped and love and partnership warped, and they're going to make their romantic decisions based off of that distortion, and then continue the cycle.
Right. I agree with that.
It goes deep too, man, because it's like strong men are also like very dangerous. You ever notice every TV show, every sitcom, there's no depiction of like a strong masculine figure?
Right.
They're always dumb idiots, Homer Simpson like men.
They had that phase, and there's different phases of like how they depict like masculinity.
Right.
Or they may even depict like the main female characters as being, taking on more of the masculine roles.
Right.
Just kind of whatever moves the culture, whatever keeps it very individualistic. I think there's a lot of benefits, economic benefits, to keeping it individualistic.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
For sure.
When you have everybody like thinking about like what's for me, it also weakens the country, right? So it's like,
yeah,
because the powers that be is not they're not like, if they exist, it's like global. It's not country, right? Focused. So my coach has a very interesting observation. Even when it comes to military might and fighting for a cause, that's dead. You have all these men who can't find partnership.
Right.
So therefore they can't reproduce. So there's no future for them to fight for. So they don't give a fuck what happens.
Yeah.
Like, historically, those guys would fight and die for their country. Why? Because it wasn't necessarily for their country. It was for the future that they created in their household. So they're dying for their wives. They're dying for their children. You break that down, these men don't have the incentive to lay their life on the line or fight for a noble cause.
Right.
So they're like, fuck it. Yeah, go ahead. Let things get cooked. I don't care. People want the world to burn. So people in those situations, they actually kind of want shit to get bad. They want the world to burn because it's like, well, I'm not getting what I want, so fuck all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Especially when there's money to be made when shit goes bad.
Right.
COVID was an example. You got to see what crashed and burned and who got some pocket change out of it. So.
Yeah, it's all connected. I try not to get into the conspiracy trap though. I try to contribute in my way.
Right.
So it's like me, it's like, this is a noble legacy to live. It's like, okay, if I can help people with these relationship things, and it's like, that's my contribution.
Right. That's kind of why I like helping too. Just kind of making it better in my own way.
Right.
Even if I only improve a few lives, that's something. You know?
I mean, think about the improvements that's made. Think about, okay, if you help a man or a woman and now they can get into relationships and therefore get married and then therefore have kids, you think the generational impact that's being made.
Right.
Just that, and people will never know your name. Multiple generations have passed. There's kids who existed because you were a catalyst in these people's lives. They'll never know your name, but you played a very significant role into their existence.
Right. Right. I feel that way in like a lot of different microcosms. Like when I volunteer, I don't really expect to fix homelessness, but I know just doing laundry for a handful of people, it makes their week. It gives them some dignity to solve their problems.
Right.
And a lot of them will eventually solve their problems, but sometimes they just need some clean clothes to wear.
Right, and that is effective, right? That is effective. This showing them that kindness is great, right? Where I resonate, I feel like you should follow what's resonating with you, especially if you're a Christian person, because I think that's the Holy Spirit leading you, nudging you in a direction, right? So that's probably the Holy Spirit leading you to do something that is impacting them in a very specific way, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they needed that direct act of kindness, because without that, they're probably in their last day.
Yeah.
Okay? I resonate more with spreading ideas. So it's like, no more calls, by the way. I don't take calls after 2 p.m. So with me, spreading ideas, it germinates faster. I think that's the right terminology to use. Germinate?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Spreads
faster. Spreads faster. Ideas can be like a contagion, right? So it just spreads through people. Propagate. Is that another word to use for it? So it just spreads faster, right? And like if I impact one person in life, I'm the second order effect of that is they're going to go, like the women who watch this live have friends. Their friends are going to come to them about their relationship struggle, and then my ideas will likely speak through them to their friends. So now their friends are being affected by my perspective without even knowing of my presence. Right? So now you're helping other people's relationships without even really even knowing of their existence.
Right.
So I resonate more with ideas. Like, how can I articulate these ideas succinctly and simply, but also powerfully, so they don't lose their essence, so that it spreads? Because simplicity spreads. That's why you get some people, they want to like, that's why I don't hate intellectuals. They try to like, they're just trying to signal how smart they are so that they get the ego hit, right? But it's like very dense messaging doesn't spread. Simplicity spreads. That's why Jesus spoke in parables. Let me tell you a simplified version of this in a narrative format so that you can repeat this to somebody else. Hermetic theory is good for this. Simple, replicable ideas. Right. So, yeah, I think that's what I resonate with the most. That's why my ears ringing. You ever believe in the spiritual significance of your ear ringing? Some people say that's like God talking to you. You just can't make it out because it's God. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah. So I believe people. You know, Ty Lopez, a guy I used to follow, he was like, your business should be 50% for you, 50% for other people. So yeah, you want to get your nut off as well, right? You want to get your benefit, whatever that may be.
Right.
But you also want to be more altruistic, the word? You want to think about the needs of others. You want to think about the needs of others as well, right? So it's like, give them what they need as well. Don't just look at like, how can I extract the most value from people? It's like, how can I also like give?
Right. Oh, that's altruistic, yeah.
Right.
The unselfish concern or devotion for the well-being of others.
Yeah, I think that's good business. That's good business. If you ask me. So it's not just like, how can I get as much as humanly possible? It is.
Part of the passion comes from wanting to solve a problem, you know.
Right.
It's why you start the business. Obviously, make some money, but you make money solving a problem, giving some actual value, you know. Right. Yeah, I think that's a good like heart posture as well, right? Like, I think like God delights in your heart posture. And I also think like the reason why I even have these portion of the lives is also like to spread wisdom in like my thought process as well. Because I think that people like that too. Even though the numbers tend to dip when I get to this part of the life, I do think that people stick around because they're like, okay, outside of dating and relationships, like what other value? I can talk about a lot of shit, but it's like, what other wisdom or ideas can I impart outside of this? I think the people that stay are usually an audience that want to have that information. The ones that probably dip are most likely just here for the drama.
Yeah. You'll see people in the chat be like, take another call, please. I'm like, man, I'm not. I come back at 9 p.m. I'll give you all the calls you need. Right? We do 2 hours of calls. That's enough calls. And as the business becomes more successful, the calls are going to drop. Like, the live time will drop. I'll probably do live for like an hour at some point.
Yeah. That'd be efficient. It makes sense, too. This is a grind. Talking to that many people in a row.
Right.
You know, even if you're extroverted or a yapper by nature, I mean, it just kind of wears you down.
Right. It actually energizes me, to be honest with you. Like, I typically come off these things like energized, but like I like this portion of just like shooting the shit and talking, so that I go live at 12 p.m. Eastern time and 9 p.m. Eastern time every day but Sunday. But it's actually energizing to me because I'm in a flow state. Right. Have you read the book on flow?
No.
Do you know how flow is? You know how flow is achieved?
The closest I've gotten is to that kind of advice I give people about setting small goals and building on that, but no.
Okay. Have you ever experienced flow?
I think so.
Okay. What were you doing when you experienced it?
When I'm in my flow, I guess it's hard to conceptualize it in words. I feel like I'm at my best self. Like, sometimes it's not even like, it doesn't even feel like I'm trying.
Right. The sense of time disappears. You're fully present.
Yeah. Time passes.
Right.
I guess I give off an energy without even realizing it. You know, like there are sometimes where I'm feeling good, I'm chopping it up. Sometimes people will just compliment my energy without me even like kind of thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, you know, and I just assume from hindsight that must be like when I'm in my flow state, like when I'm my best self.
Right.
You
lose all athletes experience this a lot. You lose all sense of time. You're fully immersed in the moment, right? Isaac just said, I think, what was he said? Presence drifting through time. But you achieve flow if things are too easy, you're not in flow. If things are too hard, you're not in flow. It is the edge of where competence meets challenge. So you're doing something that's challenging enough to get you engaged, but you also are able to meet the challenge.
Okay.
So that's typically when you experience flow state.
That tension you talk about.
That tension, existing in that tension is where you achieve flow state. Yeah. So the reason why these lives energize me is because when people ask me good questions, I reach flow state.
Okay.
So I'm not thinking. I'm present in the moment, right? Present in the moment. I'm answering questions. I'm thinking as I'm talking, right? I'm not thinking about, RSD has a really good, Owen Cook, he has a real good video on this. He calls it the release muscle. So when he gives speeches, he'll talk for like 3 hours. And when he gives speeches, they're not prepared. I'm like, I want to be able to do that. I know I can't. I have the mind for it. But he has this thing called the release muscle where it's like you're in a state of flow and you're not editing yourself. It's all these concepts we already talk about, but you're fully present to the moment. And you've made peace with making mistakes. You're not editing yourself at all. So it's like you're just letting things just emerge from you, right? I'm doing it right now. I'm not planning what I'm saying to you. I'm just knowing and trusting that things are going to land as they're supposed to and resonate with the right people. But I'm not being thoughtful about the language that I'm using. I'm not being thoughtful about like how I'm being perceived. I'm just talking. The moment in this live where I achieved the highest point of that was when I was talking to the guy who was complaining. But you see how clear I was communicating with him, right? How it was almost like I was giving him a speech, but it wasn't planned. It just was that release muscle. It was just me, just expressing myself, right? So that's what you want. That's the pocket that you kind of want to be in. But that's also the pocket you want to be in when you're talking to women, when you're on a date, when you're approaching them for the first time. That's why when one of the original callers called in, he was asking questions about flirting. And he had questions about like, coaches say you should be detached. And what does that mean? Like, why would I even approach someone if I'm detached, right? And I gave him good advice, such as self-amusement and, just assuming that or seeing what the truth is between you and the woman in question. That's true. That's helpful. But upstream of that, what's more helpful is presence. That's what's most attractive about you. That's when you're going to do these things. Like, presence is the doorway to naturally doing all the tactics that we said. Because when you're present to the moment, you bypass any conditioning. Let's timestamp that. That's good. When you're present to the moment, you bypass any conditioning. The conditioning is what makes you second guess yourself. Makes you not want to kiss her when you feel like you want to kiss her. Makes you not want to playfully tease her when she says something goofy and you want to give her some shit about it, right? It is the conditioning that makes you edit yourself. Editing yourself is based on a belief, is based on an assumption. That belief is based on some sort of conditioning. But when you're present, you're not giving yourself the space to even consider those old patterns, those old conditioning. You're just expressing yourself. So when you're just expressing yourself, you're going to naturally do the right things. You're going to naturally follow your own desires. You're going to naturally engage in push-pull. These things are natural. Because all game is people, like, think from first principles. What is game? All game is a group of guys observe other dudes who were good with women and they just pieced together what they were doing. But what does that tell you?
Essence of learning.
What does that tell you? Those guys who they were observing did not have no one to study from. So what were they doing? What were they doing, Danny?
They were
just being present. So they observed somebody being present. Miles, please timestamp this. They observed somebody being present. They codified what they were doing, and then they gave lessons to guys who could not achieve those outcomes.
Right.
So we're taking secondary information. When really the source, the truth, Go back to being present. You'll probably even be more effectively, get more of a positive effect being present when you can understand concepts like push-pull and stuff like that and just integrate it to where you don't have to think about it anymore. So now you're really effective when you're being present.
Right. There's like a skills end, and then there's like a integration end or an embodiment end to this. And I think presence is that tension that brings them both together.
Right. For some guys' natural state is not attractive. They need your coaching. Yeah, they still need coaching. They still need coaching, but it's like that's how. But my coaching is going to take them back. If you look at the hero's journey, you always return back where you left. The hero's journey is there's a inciting incident which takes the person to the underworld. We're getting mythological here. Takes them to the underworld where they have experiences. They find some assistance. They achieve the goal that they set out to achieve. They pay a significant price for the goal that they achieved. Then they have to battle, and then they return back home having changed. They return back home having changed. So I'm taking guys through the hero's journey. They're going back to presence, but they're just learning lessons along the way, right? So
right. It isn't about being yourself. It's about being your best self, and that comes with development. That comes with going through that journey.
Yeah, I'm taking you to see Hades, baby. We're going to the underworld. We're going to depths, because the degree that you can descend is the degree that you can ascend.
Right.
To go high, you must first go deep. The roots need to be deep. This may not make sense to y'all, but what I'm telling you is really big. This is really. You may not even catch it, but it's really big. This is why biblically they always talk about suffering so much. Because suffering, you're going deep, right? But when you can experience pain, you increase your capacity to experience pleasure or happiness or joy, right? Because you have a contrast now.
Yeah.
You have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
So there's multiple reasons why going deep affects your ability to ascend. Because also it's a rule to life where the pendulum always swings, right? Equidistant, it swings. So people who suffer, like you look at people who have these major success stories, there was a lot of suffering, but they experienced the success that equates the amount of suffering that they experience.
Right.
We're going everywhere right now. Covering a lot of terrain, huh?
Yeah, getting into it. You know how we can get deeper though? Is if you book one of Mark's coaching calls.
That's right. This
big, nice pink button right here.
But also, we're testing something else out. You don't need to hit the Service Plus button or anything like that. If you want to just directly only hit the Service Plus button if you actually have a question to ask me before you book the coaching call, right? Not for help with coaching. If you want to just go ahead and book your coaching call with 2 weeks of DM support, click the link in my bio, click the coaching option, and it takes you to a video on YouTube. Within the description of that video, you can hit the link to actually book the call. Okay? Appreciate that alley-oop, Danny. But yes, that is 100% what they need to do. I've been fleshing out the stage 4 stuff. I'm just seeing like how in depth it actually is. There was like sometimes like, have you been using it at all when you talk to your clients?
Not the stages, no. Okay. I need a better understanding of them.
Okay, I was curious. But I had one caller, man. Well, she was a tough case. Like, I actually had to talk to her for like 40 minutes asking questions. Normally I ask 30 minutes worth of questions. And then at 30-minute mark, I start hitting you with the diagnostic and then answer any questions you may have and like lay out the strategy. With her, I had to do 40. I was like, okay. You know why I had to do that? Because she was very polished. She's a very polished individual. And I was like, but you being polished like that is a defense.
Yeah.
I said, and the problem with you being so polished is you're going to convey a sense of you being more healthy than you actually are.
Yeah.
You probably experience people like that.
Yeah, I think it's like a symptom of like anyone that usually has a really high aptitude in any aspect of life. You do almost become. It almost becomes. I guess this is kind of where you talk about 3A. It becomes a source of your validation.
Right.
Like whether you have like a high competence in something, you're very intelligent, you're very polished. You become a little bit dependent on that for your identity.
Right.
And anytime you kind of get a push on that identity, it feels threatening and uncomfortable.
Right.
So
see, I like working with people. She was the only like person that was like super polished that I've talked to, and because everyone else, like, I like people who aren't polished. It's easier to read them, right?
mm-hmm.
With this woman, she was so polished. It's like I gotta pay super close attention because you're going to answer these questions defensive. It was so. This is how simple it was, right? Because I even told her that she was like conflict avoidant, and her being conflict avoidant connected to her inability to be vulnerable. And she didn't really believe me at first with the vulnerability piece, right? This is how she responded when I told her she wasn't vulnerable. She said, okay, I hear you. But I would like to say, like, I do cry in front of people. Now, that I hear you was her polish.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't hear me. She didn't agree. She knew to say, I hear you to diffuse my end of things.
Yeah.
Right? So even the I hear you, I'm like, that's something you learned to make people feel like you're not arguing with them.
Right.
So I'm like, even that is the polish. It came to the right one though. But I did have to like focus.
Really dig deep.
Yeah. Because some people, I could be juggling this bitch and give you some dope ass answers because I'm just so good at this shit. But with her, I was like, okay, let me stop. Let me really Jimmy Neutron type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But once the code was cracked, I was like, oh yeah, this is okay. You're polished. I've seen this before. Okay, really stage 2, because that polish is a defense mechanism. So I'm like, okay, you're. So if this is a defense mechanism, you're being polished. The men who you're dating, they don't really see you, for real.
Right.
So she was encountering a situation where I told you about this the other day, where she was getting with these guys who had low capacity for relationships, but that capacity was not being seen because she was not putting forth any boundaries or calling out any kind of problematic behavior. She kind of swept everything under the rug. And the way she did that because she would tell herself it's not significant, right? But then when she did react to something, it would be something that she perceived as significant, which means she would have a bigger reaction. So to them, their experience of the dynamic is she did a 180. I was like, wait, how shit been cool for 7 months and you tripping right now? What's going on?
Yeah.
They don't know she's been sweeping things under the rug. Made her a perfect mark for avoidantly attached people because avoidantly attached people want peace. They don't want the hard shit that comes with a relationship. So if you are avoiding the conflict, you're removing tension and friction from the dynamic that needs to be there to test their capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be there so that they can test their capacity. So if you weren't avoiding conflict, you would have found out month 2 that he does not have capacity for a relationship. Because the moment you became a headache to him or you brought a problem to him, he would have left. But because you've been avoiding that, now you've been with him much longer than you should have been. And now at month 7, you're realizing that he actually doesn't want a relationship.
Right. Learning about stuff that you could have learned sooner.
Exactly. You got it.
Weren't peacekeeping so much.
I'm digging deeper into capacity because I think it's important. I don't see many people talking about it. They'll mention it, but they don't dive deep into it. Yeah. So I think there's 2 doorways to capacity. There's intimacy and then there's conflict. Those are the 2 doorways you're going to find out the capacity somebody has for a real commitment. Is intimacy, which means being vulnerable with them, and conflict. So you need to experience that with them before you start taking them super seriously. Because you don't know if they have the capacity yet. Everyone has capacity when shit is easy. shit easy. Everybody got that. You're going to know what their capacity is really like once you start being vulnerable, which then means they have to also be vulnerable.
Right.
Or if there's conflict, which means this ain't just fun. Because relationships aren't just fun. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get you to that space. We got to get you to that space. And I told her, I'm like, you make that one simple switch, that's going to put you in a much better position. There's more, right? And for anyone who's purchased the coaching call so far, I know I was telling y'all can get like one-off calls. I sunlighted that, moonlit that. What was it called? Sunset that. Now you get a 3-call package, 30-minute call package. 3 calls that have to be used within 60 days. So if y'all want to have follow-ups, have multiple follow-up calls, just DM me, let me know you want that. And I will, it's only for people who've already purchased the 1-hour coaching call. Okay, I won't name y'all, but I see a few of y'all in the chat. We're growing on you. How long way for no female clients? You know what, Sakina? Y'all are growing on me because I did not think that I could help women that much. I really didn't. I did not think I can help women that much. I'm only helping women who come for this live, though. I don't think you'll ever see me change my content to speak to women. So I won't be making videos for women or YouTube videos for women. But on this live, sure, I'll work with them. But I didn't think I could help them. But when I started helping them, it was like, oh, I actually know more about this than I thought. I've been reapproached by a ghoster a year later. Yeah, you probably want to leave him alone if he ghosted you before. But yeah, women, they need a lot of help. Need help. Just as much help as the men do. Just as much help as the men do. It's cleanup. Being the cleanup crew is. People have been through so much shit, man. They've been through so much stuff, so many negative experiences. So it's like, I'm trying to get like the model for these coaching calls, the model for I'm looking at it like it's an onion, right? So it's like the first call, we're addressing like the deeper issues. But no, especially for women, so far, the 1-hour calls I've had with women, we've not addressed any we've addressed personality, we've not addressed persona or pre-selection. So it's like, I need them to understand that one-off call, yes, we're going to solve your problem. We're going to solve the deeper issues, but there's still more. So I'm working from the inside out. There's still other things you have to change. I had a caller yesterday. It's like, yeah, she was anxiously attached. The anxious attachment was something she needed to solve. But there's more things to solve. There's more things to optimize. I just don't have time in an hour to do all that.
Right.
So I focus on like the most important thing. But how are your calls going?
Well, I think kind of like you said, I had to learn that like you're not going to be able to solve everything in an hour. You're going to find like a issue or usually the core issue and you're going to start there. But
right.
Also kind of, as you've mentioned, offering something for free comes with the territory of attracting people that will only do it for free. And because they're doing it for free, the motivation to follow through isn't always there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was offering, texting support as well. And there's times I might give an exercise or assignment where I'll do follow-ups and you just stop hearing from them for a minute. And then they come back with like a problem because they ignored what you told them. They're like, okay, well, let's talk through that and figure out why you wanted to do that.
Every once in a while, you'll get my first guy. My first guy was a guy who I like. That's when I could do coaching shit for real, because I was helping him with like a lot of deeper shit, and he was a good client as far as like applying, because he was also very vulnerable with me. He was vulnerable about his wounds. He was vulnerable about the stuff that bugged him. He was vulnerable about his experience. Great client to have, because he. I was going to ask that, Kiana, in a second, but he was a very interesting dude. He's a big YouTuber now, but his claim to fame is he is a atheist who loves religion. So he was in like a Christian cult that he didn't know about, that he didn't know was a cult, So he was telling me, he was like, bro, there were times where like I would tell women like, no, I would never touch you like that. Like if they wanted me to like touch them sexually, like their tatas or whatever, or their breasts, like I would never touch you like that, right? He was a street pastor. Oh. And he started researching like atheist talking points because he wanted to better debate atheists, and he ended up convincing himself of atheism in the process. So by researching atheism, he became an atheist.
Oh shit!
But he became an atheist because he was in a cult like church.
Okay.
That was probably super legalistic. I've been to his house, man. He has like religious books. We talk about theology. We're not that. Ariana said, "Guess who hasn't folded?" You still haven't seen him yet, Ariana. But I haven't seen him in a while. He's been real busy with like the YouTube stuff that he does. But like we used to talk about theology all the time. Like, he's very knowledgeable on this shit. He just don't buy any of it anymore. And so he went from being like very chaste to like hedonistic. You know, some atheists are really educated on religion. Yeah, but like from a Christian perspective, being educated on religion is not the same thing as having the Holy Spirit within you. So like they read it as if it is a textbook, but they're missing the spirit of it, right? Because the Holy Spirit is what kind of like opens your eyes to it. The experience of God is a subjective experience. It's very subjective. It's why you can't prove the existence. Every individual can prove the existence of God in their life, but I can't prove the existence of God to you. Because it's a very personal, intimate relationship. You can't convince me God doesn't exist because of how things have orchestrated in my life, where I'm like, that's definitely... He drove here yesterday, got a hotel for himself, then left a few minutes ago. Did you ever get into like a confined space with him, Ariana?
You want her to call up? I could
No,
pop down
I don't
for a
want.
minute.
I don't want her to call up. I just want her to answer in the chat. Unless you were trying to leave. Was that your nice way of trying to leave? No open spaces only. Okay. Well, yeah, that's why you didn't fold. You couldn't fold. But that's good. You should do. Don't tempt fate. Don't tempt fate. Nice. I try to get you in the parking lot. That's what I would do. All right. It's dark over here. That's what I would do. My voice sounds weird for people. I think she might have folded for real. I think she's just saying she. Now seeing who your friends are, Ariana, I'm like, now I question how honest you are. But Danny, what's your most interesting call been so far? Or is there a call where you're like proud of yourself from like the advice that you gave? Have you surprised yourself at all?
Oh, yeah. You know, there was one caller. Let me check the list real quick.
You got a list?
Let me check. No, this list. In case they're listening in. I won't bring up any names or details, but they might know.
I don't keep a list of clients. People are like, remember me? I'm like, yeah.
I'm still new to this, so I have a decent memory. All right, I don't see them. On our call, based on what he told me, I kind of pointed out something that they didn't realize, which was really cool. That was a cool experience because it's something I've experienced in my development, where kind of a lot of, and maybe this applies to women too, but for like a lot of men, a lot of their peacekeeping tendencies usually kind of come from how their fathers behaved or how their mothers behaved. And usually a lot of that is like a promise to the self to not be the same way. So like if you had an emotionally explosive father, you might become more reserved because you're afraid of becoming like them.
Right.
And he never really saw it that way. So hopefully some of the work I do with him going forward is kind of digging into that a little bit more and reconciling with who they are authentically, you know, so they can continue to be their best selves.
Did that insight come from the book, like Kids Raised by Emotionally Stunted Parents?
That one actually came from No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. One of the things that nice guys kind of do is they resent their fathers subconsciously. So a lot of their behavior is them avoiding that prodigal son fate that they're afraid of becoming their fathers.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean that's certainly one path. I had a nice guy client. I only had like one real nice guy client. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I had more, but there's one guy that stands out, and I told him that, and it was weird, like how much he was leaving, how much self-awareness he left on the table, because he was describing, like I would ask, like there's questions I asked to determine attachment style and stuff like that, and this is for like my 3-month coaching package. So this is the first call I have with like guys who buy my 3-month coaching package. It's a 2-hour long call. We go over your entire life, and you're not. The 1-hour call is like almost Q&A. The 2-hour call, there's a template for that. There's a template for that. I'm taking you through an experience so I can get all the meat off the bone, right? So with him, I was like, he's anxiously attached, but he didn't know. He didn't have any awareness of having anxiety.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Like, truly anxiously attached. But he didn't, like, he would like not have conflict with his girl. And he was like, well, because I'm like, what do we need to argue for? Let's just not. I was okay. You got it. I'm like, that's not good, bro. That's not good, man. Yeah. Even how he talks to me, he's like, yes, sir. You got it. I'm doing the work, coach. I'm doing it. Like, bro, you're being nice to me. Don't do that. Stop it. I'm spraying with water like a cat. Like, stop it. Stop doing that. Let's talk. All right. Why are you so super formal and shit? Stop sucking me off on this call. Just talk. All right. But it takes work. It takes work. Yeah. A lot of people have a real hard time seeing themselves. That's part of our job, is to be a mirror and give people an accurate reflection. That's something in your content that you have. When you start making content, you have to do, because people trust you. If you can describe people's problems better than they can, they assume you have the solution.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like once my Substack's up and running, I'll be able to do that really well. I was looking into it, and it's changed a lot over the years. It's no longer just kind of like an email list you send out, but it's essentially like the writer's equivalent of like YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
If I build this well, I'm kind of joining around the time it's probably going to get its own kind of YouTube boom. So,
Kiana, is that a question for me or Danny? I started on Substack, Danny. Did you know that? I started on Substack. Okay, let me answer this question Kiana asked. Do you put thought and process outside of the call, or do you wear everything on the calls? On the calls. I don't think about you at all once we hang up. You cease to exist to me once. It's like object permanence. Once we have the call, I don't even know who I just talked to. But while I got you, you have my undivided attention. I just trust that whatever I come up with on the call is something that the person needs. So everyone who's hired me, I asked them, like, was this helpful? Yeah. I had a person I worked with who was like, actually, I could have went without that. You don't get something. You don't get, like, bro, I was working on myself since I was 17 years old. I'm 35 years old. I did a lot of self-work. Like, hey, you're going to get something. All right? For everyone to forget what I said for my dignity. Well, the advice you gave me, little cousin yesterday, made her block him everywhere. Hope he stays blocked. Oh, that was your little cousin. Okay. You see what she's doing there? She's trying to make sure it's like, this is my friend. This wasn't my friend. This is my cousin, everybody. I didn't choose her as a friendship. This is a cousin.
She was adopted, guys.
I see what's going on here, Ariana. I see what's going on here. Oh, she was introduced as a friend, wasn't she? It's a little cousin now. But I'm glad to see. I gotta start calling people out. I don't know if people are hating me, man. All right. You did it intentionally? Okay, Ariana, I got you. I'm glad to see that he's blocked. I doubt he will stay that way. I doubt he will stay blocked. She may have blocked him to perform for you. And then her getting tattoos after knowing that he has a wife, cousin's cooked. She's cooked, man. She's cooked. One conversation with me is not changing her. Cause I ain't telling nothing she ain't already know. I didn't tell her anything she didn't already know. What's going to cause her ultimately to leave that connection is enough pain. It's enough pain. If information doesn't change her mind, the only thing left is pain. She already had the information because I didn't tell her something she didn't know. So now, more information is not going to change her mind. The only thing left to get her to change is pain. She did not feel any pain on the call with me. So her blocking him was performative. She's going to unblock that man. And when enough pain is experienced, that's when she's ultimately going to change. So that's how you get to stage 2, right? Pain. Pain makes you reflect. Tony Robbins said that. Then why pain is necessary. He said, because when you succeed, you party. But when you fail, you ponder. Right? So when you win too much, you're not reflecting. You're just celebrating. You start feeling some pain, you're like, ouch, okay, how do I stop that shit?
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I never feel that again.
What is that? What am I doing that's causing this? We gotta take a step back and figure this shit out. Stage 2. Now you're at stage 2. Now you have a little bit more you're engaging into more of an intentional process at that point, even though it's still not ironed out. There's a lot of wrinkles in how you approach things, but it is an improvement from stage 1.
Yeah.
Pain is a form of information. Jane Doe. Is this a burner account, Jane? But yeah, pain is how you ultimately go up the stages. Right now I'm trying to unpack like the flaws of the 4-stage model, because the map is not the territory, so any map is going to have flaws. Painful moments add more value to the pleasant ones. So you haven't had an experience where you were just like, you like wowed yourself at what you came up with on these coaching calls?
Not yet. I mean, I'm only like, 2 weeks into this? Like, it's been only about 2 weeks since I've started scheduling, taking calls.
How many clients? Roughly.
4.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. You're getting experience. That's good.
So I'm really like just starting. I imagine with some more time, I'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then when you monetize, you want something that's scalable, right? Your time is not scalable. I figure I'm gonna have to help you a lot with like business stuff. How scale from 1 to 10? How knowledgeable are you about business?
Not a very experienced business person.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd be lying if I said it was more than a 4 at best.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of this is just kind of learning. That's the value I see in it right now. If this was like full-fledged business, I wouldn't be taking this route at all.
Gotcha.
But
Create you
understanding my capacity and where it's at.
Gotcha. Create you a low ticket offer.
Okay.
You also, when you start charging for your clients, your coaching calls, start low, something that's affordable, and then scale up.
Yeah.
Scale up. And when I first started, it was $500. For that 3-month program, it was $500. I sold 2 of them bitches, immediately doubled the price. And I sold 4 of them bitches, immediately increased the price again. And it stayed there, right? You want the market to determine the price. People tell you yes too easily, your prices are too low. You want there to be a bit of friction. You want some people, like when people ask me for the 1 hour call, there's so many people ask for that 1 hour call, and then I'll send them a message, send them the link, and they just stop responding. They saw that price. I don't know why they thought this shit was $50. I don't know why they thought that. You know how dope I am with this shit? I'm still undercharging you what it currently is priced as. So, but a lot of people also, go for it, because that's what it is, right?
Right.
So,
it's an investment.
Right. But this, I'm gonna make a video on this as well. For guys who are shooters, if every woman they shoot at, they tend to get, they're settling.
Oh.
That same mechanism applies romantically. There's a lot of connections between business and sales and like courtship. So if every woman you go after says yes, you're settling. There should be.
That's a really good point.
Right. There should be a bit of friction.
It shouldn't come too easy.
Yeah, it shouldn't come too easy. So like, why are they saying yes so easy? Are you getting women who are below you? Or are you getting women who are,
I'm listening. I just have to mute.
You're good. Do you feel like you need to be needed, so you're going for underdeveloped women so that you can look like amazing, right? Like something's going on. Why are you settling? Why are you settling? That's probably going to be today's video, because people haven't heard that. Because people talk about like, go after high interest women. Sure. But that ain't the same thing as going after women who are just super into you immediately. How much do you have to give up? The opportunity cost. What do you mean? Is it like a question, or you just making a statement? Mama Bree. I'm surprised we still have that many people in here. We're not even talking about dating right now. Again, if y'all want coaching, link in bio, click the coaching offer. That 1 hour call comes with 2 weeks of DM support. Click the link in my bio for coaching. Click the coaching option. It'll take you to a YouTube video. In the description of that YouTube video, you'll find the link where you can actually book your coaching call. Okay?
Yeah, I agree with that take, because sometimes you may see them on TikTok, or even if you talk to someone in person or read something and they're like, I get every girl I'm into. Like, I feel like my flags immediately hit. So I'm like, that's not like if you're shooting, obviously even good shooters are going to see some friction. It's not, you're either lying or you're going for goers, right? Like, there has to be something there. Like there's no such thing as like a perfect.
In game they call that yes girls. Mm-hmm. So they call it just women who are just down. They're not like down in general, but they're down for you. Maybe like you have some high status or a sense of celebrity or something like that, right? Or you're just a very attractive guy. It's like you're going for women who just make it very easy for you. And a lot of guys in the manosphere are telling guys to go after women like that. But those women are typically stage 1 and stage 2. That's why they say yes so easily.
Right.
Because a stage 1 and stage 2 woman is not seeing you for you. They're seeing a projection of you. Especially stage 1. Stage 1 ain't seeing you at all. They're seeing purely your projection. Stage 2 is still seeing mostly your projection, but they're starting to see a little bit of who you are, right? You don't really get to like someone really making a decision based on who you are until you get to stage 3. Stage 3 is where you start to, stage 1 like Stevie Wonder, right? Stage 3, like stage 1 people aren't even looking at you like as a separate entity with your own inner world. You're just a medium for them to feel what they want to feel. And if they don't feel what they want to feel with you, they leave. And stage 1 people quickly get with somebody else because they need that external supply.
Yeah.
There was really nothing to grieve because they didn't know you for real. How can they grieve something they don't know? Right? They didn't know you for real, so there's nothing really to grieve. If they grieve anything, it's the loss of supply, which means they have to quickly get it from somewhere else. That's why stage 1 people move on very quickly. Stage 2 people, remember, they're seeing everything through a distorted lens of their wound. So you get to stage 2 from pain, and now at stage 2, you're looking at other things from a perspective of your wound. So you start to connect behaviors the person is doing to your wound. And but you may also be attracted to the exact type of person who reminds you of your wound, paradoxically. Right? So like an anxiously attached person who's afraid of somebody leaving them will be attracted to an avoidantly attached person who will leave you. And then be scared of them leaving the entire time. Yeah. Stage 2. At stage 2, they're assessing for the wound, but also being pulled by the wound, right? So that's stage 2. So a stage 2 person choosing you, it's like they're choosing you, but they're really not. They don't see you for real, so they can't make a choice. Stage 3 is where you start to actually choose people. You're not just responding to feelings. You're not just responding to a wound. You're actually thinking about compatibility and thinking about how this person integrates into your life. In fact, women and men who are at stage 3 are slower to give yes. They have to really take you in. This is why I said that the advice that's given is contingent upon what stage you're at. Stage 2 guy should go after a high interest woman. A stage 3 guy probably wants to avoid women who say yes too easily. Because it's a sign that she not at his level of development, but then also that she doesn't see him for real, right? And then if he is stage 3 and she's at lower stages, there's a higher likelihood he's going to scare her off. Right? Because she don't think she can hold that connection, right? So like that fear of abandonment is like, okay, well, you're so good, you certainly don't want me, so I'm going to leave first, right? So I'm not good enough for you. Why would you keep me, right? So if you want like a stage 3 woman or above, like one side effect of stage 3 woman is she's going to be slower with her yes. She's going to actually assess you. It's going to be slower. It's a slower process. But if you're telling those guys to go after high interest women, they're gonna perceive that slowness of the yes as an indication of low interest.
Right. You hear that a lot in the discourse.
Right, because the manosphere and the red pill flattens this multi-dimensional experience. They treat it very one-dimensionally. That's why voices like ours is needed, because people don't know these things. What I just said makes total sense, but these guys don't hear this stuff. They hear the one-dimensional version, which does make sense. Before you heard what I just said, go after high interest women makes perfect sense. Until you hear what I just said. Now it's like, well, actually, I guess there is more to this than I thought. Yeah.
And now you put some structure into the situation. It's not just a black and white, choose who's choosing you situation.
Depends on where you're at. It depends on where you're at. So it's like, there's levels to this shit. That's why I love it, because there's always like a deeper level to unpack. There's always a deeper aspect of things to kind of unpack. So you never feel like you know everything. That's why I like, with the polished woman, I love that call so much, because I was like, it just showed me how much more there is to learn. Because you get to a place, especially where I'm at, where it's like, okay, no question is left unanswered. Like, I know the answers to everything. It's like, well, you know the answers to a certain level.
Right.
So what you said can be true, but then there's like a deeper truth that you've yet to unpack. There's a deeper truth beyond that you've yet to unpack. And it's like, oh, let me keep going deeper into the layers. Love that shit. It is 3:05, people. My time has elapsed. Again, if you want your 1-hour coaching call with 2 weeks of DM support, hit the link in my bio. Click the coaching option. It will take you to a YouTube video. In the description of that YouTube video, you can actually book your call. If you have any questions, you can also DM me. Like, if you have questions about the coaching call, not just questions that you want free answers to, okay? If you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Remember, I take Sundays off, so you will not see me tomorrow. Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight. Y'all take care.